Justin FREAKIN, the formidable voice of the culture.
Hey Justin, are you trolling?
This is the Troll Patrol, live with Justin FREAKIN.
Welcome to the Troll Patrol Live. It's a freaking Sunday. Justin spent the weekend being called a pedophile and a groomer by idiots online because I simply had the audacity to advocate for fucking sex education. Teens, they should have access to contraceptives, or that I stuck up for the LGBTQ community. I'm a little tired of it. You know, there's been debate over whether there is a genocide of trans people. And you know, I've been a little wishy-washy on the issue, but no, the genocide has started. You see, Warlord referencing a act of terrorism in North Carolina. It's not the fucking only one. Christmas parade has been canceled in Kentucky. And it's all because of white Christo nationalism. Lenny, thank you for the resub. Or if somebody giving out, yeah, Lenny got the resub going on. Trying to make sure that, I'm not giving proper credit when people are giving out the gift subs and shit. I love you guys. Thank you for making the show possible. Once again, I'm salty. We might get some dumb fucks calling in because, man, enough people have been wanting to argue with me all fucking weekend. I was watching a Vice news piece about trans kids that their families are having to relocate them because they're scared of these fucking fascists out here. Poor, good evening. I'm salty tonight. Probably need to get high. My God, I've probably got some screenshots I can share with you. I'm in a Facebook group called White Lives Matter. So you can imagine what that trash fire is like. I hadn't said anything. I had just been observing, but I chimed in today. Because one of them posted some shit about the Constitution doesn't need to be rewritten, it just needs to be reread. And I'm like, you guys can't even read. Once I got a response back, I pointed out that Trump wants to trash the Constitution. To which the dude was like, show me the post where Trump said that. To which I did. To which he said it doesn't even mention the Constitution. To which I had to go back and circle the word Constitution. And say thank you for proving me right that you can't fucking read. Can it read? I'm worried about where we are heading as a country. There are some things that excite me. Looks like we might be heading towards a wildcat strike. They are just going to ignore Congress and Biden and go ahead with it. I'm for it.
FREAKIN, the formidable voice in the culture.
Goddamn right I am, Matt. Did I show you guys the Zaddy thumbnail I made of Matt Walsh? I'm just trying to get attention at this point. I don't remember if this was from Thursday's show. The non-binary kink party person. What the fuck are you talking about? What? What is all BS? Fucking people just come in here and spout off nonsense. This dude's constantly trying to troll me, is always saying the dumbest goddamn shit on my YouTube channel. You talked to me 2 years ago about stochastic terrorism. Is that what you're saying? Stochastic terrorism. I said it wrong. Borg! I couldn't believe I met somebody that had never seen Alex Jones before. I'm stochastic. Thank you, Borg. Thank you for the phonetical pronunciation. My Appalachian ass fucks words up. I'm trying to catch back up with the Friday Night Freak show. So that clip was from like before Halloween. I'm trying to like go back and clip from each of the shows. That's just where I'm at. Do check out Reg's voice reacting to seeing Alex Jones for the first fucking time. And I haven't even told Reg's voice that I threw that up there yet. Here is your meme of the day. What's on your mind? Why are you so quiet? The chud has a depressed crack addict's dong on their mind. What am I referencing with this meme? Elon Musk apparently dropped a bombshell leaking Twitter documents regarding the 2020 election and the Hunter Biden laptop story, and boy, did it make Elon look stupid. But that has not stopped. That has not stopped right-wing outlets from just straight up lying about it. They are publishing, oh, the media ignored the Hunter Biden laptop expose. Nothing was exposed. We're going to go over the claims. Matt Taibbi made a fucking fool of himself. And basically what this amounted to was that right-wingers wanted to be able to post Hunter Biden's fucking dong on Twitter. They released emails, internal communications from Twitter that showed that they had a genuine conversation about moderation and whether they were doing the right thing. You think is a fucking interesting statement, because I don't think you're thinking. I think you're repeating nonsense that right-wingers have told you. Idiot. Yes, I know the 10% for the big guy. Like, we've watched the fucking Hunter Biden movie. No, the guy's penis is what you are focused on, because that's what James Woods wanted to post. James Woods wanted to post Hunter Biden's schlong. Hey, I'm not one to kink shame. But we're going to go over all that. Stick around and you'll find out exactly what was released. Oh, you've never watched the movie? No, we watched the Hunter Biden movie. I know all the stupid ass shit you're saying. I've already smacked that nonsense down. And James Woods is a dumbass actor. Referenced many times on Family Guy, by the way. What facts? This is another thing that I hate. Fucking right-wingers. They're always like, oh, I'm just talking facts. When you're stating a dumbass opinion that you heard some right-winger on YouTube state. I mean, I've literally broke. Steelers, you're an idiot, dude. I appreciate you being here and actually watching, but can you shut the fuck up talking about shit that you have no idea about? Yes, we watched the Tony Bobolewski fucking interview on Tucker Carlson. All of this shit is suspect. That is the reason why the New York Post didn't want to take the fucking story on. The person who wrote the story about Hunter Biden's laptop wouldn't put their name on it. The New York Post wouldn't release it to other websites and news outlets in order for them to verify it because it's bullshit. But we're going to get into all of that. If you stick around and watch, you'll find out how fucking nonsense the arguments you are making. We are going to read everything later on in this show. Are you an idiot? I've already read every fucking tweet that Matt Taibbi put out on Friday because that's what I do. And guess what? You're an idiot. Well, man, look into the leaks. Ho, 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 ho. I fucking have read them. Yes, you are an idiot. Right-wingers are absolute goddamn morons. Dumbest fucks walking the planet. Yes, the Hunter Biden laptop story is what we're going to be getting into. Also, apparently, the Dr. Pepper challenge at a football game ended in controversy. We've got video of that. We're going to be doing cop stories tonight. We're going to watch a video of a fugitive who ambushed a cop. Based. Why would I say that's based? Oh, because I'm going to show you video that's going to make you wish somebody would ambush a cop. The city of Louisville has settled a lawsuit involving the Louisville Metro Police Department where a cop groped a woman. I'm going to show you the video of that happening. 5 cops have been charged in Connecticut for assaulting a man. The niece of former presidential candidate and possibly future presidential candidate Chris Christie bit a cop and spit on them. We've got video from an In-N-Out burger where white supremacist who is incredibly popular right now, Nick Fuentes, tried to throw his milkshake or his soda on somebody who was making fun of him and just like hit his bodyguards or some shit. We're gonna get the whole story. I've seen the video, but I'm not exactly clear what's going on. You may have seen the Truth social media post by Donald Trump over the weekend following the so-called revelations. The fucking Twitter document leak which incriminated Trump. Because a lot of right-wingers are talking about First Amendment violations over shit that happened while Joe Biden was outside of government and that Trump was inside of government. Because the Twitter leaks showed that both the Biden campaign and the Trump administration requested that Twitter take down stories. Only one of them were in the government. Only one of them could have violated the First Amendment. But we know for a fact that Trump does not give a shit about the Constitution. Because over the weekend he was like, well, let's just trash the fucking thing. But a GOP congressman had the audacity to get on ABC News this morning and say, well, that's not a deal breaker. A Republican doesn't think it's a deal breaker that Trump wants to throw the Constitution out.
Do you think we're stupid? You think we're fools?
Even Rush Limbaugh stated it.
As a conservative, it's getting harder and harder to not look like a kook.
2 girls, 1 Sean. That name implies that you
live in sexual anarchy.
Professor Q, good evening. Carpe Pax. Love you guys. It is and it isn't. There are things about the Constitution I like. There are things about the Constitution that's asked. There are things that need to be updated. It's just a little sussy. It's still good. It's still good. It's just a little airborne. It's still good. It's still good. I popped some Simpson fans out there. I love that episode. That is that's the one where Lisa goes vegetarian or vegan. I think it's vegetarian because I don't think vegan was a thing. It wasn't a fad just yet. So she goes vegetarian and she makes a fucking like a gazpacho for the people who don't want to eat meat. And Homer has the classic song, "You don't win friends with salad. You don't win friends with salad." Buddy, you can't even type a fucking cogent sentence. How about you don't try to tell me what I'm for? I would be for repealing the Second Amendment. Lisa was part of the Gazpacho police. Oh my God. Yes, we went over this. I was referring to the NRA propaganda. We had a whole thing about it. Everyone called you a fucking idiot. Have you tried not being a dumbass? Jesus. Oh, fucking shit. We're going to talk about Herschel Walker because, of course, we have to. Keenan on Saturday Night Live last night. He was playing Herschel Walker, and he walks into a meeting with the GOP, and he calls Turtle Man Mitch McDonald's, and I fucking lost it. That was like one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life. Mitch McDonald's. And also, I was sitting here last night. I was like debating on whether I was gonna go to bed or I was gonna like fucking stay up and watch some shit. And I saw the trailer for Cocaine Bear. And like I get like 20 seconds into it. I'm like, Curiouser, come in here. You've got to see this. Because one, we're like right down the road from where that shit happened. It's a true story. Now, the movie is clearly an embellishment. They're taking a lot of artistic liberties. But there was actually cocaine runners that were dropping cocaine in Gatlinburg, around Gatlinburg. And a bear did indeed eat it. They had to put down a cocaine bear. That part of the setup is true. Now, the people being in the tree and the dude was like, good thing bears can't climb trees. And the other dude being like, they absolutely can. And then the fucking cocaine bear running up the tree. I don't think that actually happened. I'm just gonna throw that out there. The European Union attempting to impose a price cap on Russian oil. Russia has rejected this price cap. I put this story on the list this morning when I was putting shit together, but I saw the update earlier that Russia has rejected that price cap. I don't exactly know what that means. Also coming from Russia, Vladimir Putin apparently fell down the steps and then pooped his pants. He did a dookie. At least that's the rumor from some Telegram channel. But we've covered several of the rumors from this Telegram channel over, God, it's been over the last 8 months or so. And it's probably just a rumor. The rumor circulated in this country that Biden shit himself when he was with the Pope, and I don't think that happened. There's zero proof of that. But it's fun to speculate and call him poo-poo Putin or some shit like that. Plus, the Iranian Attorney General has said that they have suspended the morality police. We have doubts, but hey, at least they are responding to protests and the uprising which continue in Iran. All that and more tonight on the Troll Patrol Live. Sassy! Good evening, Vladimir Putin. Hazemaker, good evening, my friend.
I was on crack.
Right.
TJ Kirk, I was also, Ida, good evening. I didn't know old Amazing Atheist was still at it. I meant to go back and watch his video, Lover Kite. Thank you for being a freaking follower. Didn't know old TJ was still at it. Apparently he has a video about how he had played a role in starting the anti-woke, anti-SJW movement. I've been meaning to check that out. I was totally on TJ's side back in the day. I came up in the new atheist movement, but a lot of the new atheist movement ended up going the anti-woke IDW route. What's going on in here? We're just finding out what that news be doing. Dude, you were obsessed with Hunter's dong. Fucking shut up. My God. Weird obsession. Just like this dude in the picture. Since you're new here, allow me to tell you my political beliefs. I can sum them up with one simple phrase. I would give anything in the world to piss in Dan Crenshaw's open eye hole. So I subscribe to whatever political philosophy makes that happen for me. Give me that eye pussy, sir. Oh yeah, we know you weren't thinking about it. Hunter's long. Apparently it's nice. Apparently the motherfucker's huge. The dude's fucking packing. Good for him. Simp, good evening, my friend. I'm not going to begrudge him on that, but also, I don't give a shit about Hunter Biden. What was it? Kasem, what's his name? Had a fantastic post about it. Like, us on the left, if Hunter Biden did something wrong, prosecute him. We don't fucking care. But it's weird that you guys obsess over Hunter Biden, but don't give two goddamn shit about Ivanka or Jared Kushner or any of the other nepotism that runs through our fucking government. And it's annoying. You people are hypocrites, you are intellectually dishonest, and you're inconsistent. Now we're really getting into some rumors, but apparently Hunter was in an orgy and people said he's great. That not only does he have a nice schlong, he can sling it.
You live in sexual anarchy?
Fuzzy Simba, good evening. No, motherfucker, we're gonna do the news. We have covered Jared Kushner all over the place. We're gonna do the fucking news. Sit back and shut up and learn something. Oh, or if you want to talk, call the fuck in or get in the Discord. I would love to talk to some chuds tonight. It's not like I didn't post my number all over the place with the idiots that have been arguing with me. Other than that, I haven't seen any of TJ's recent stuff. As I said, I liked him back in the day. I thought he had gone kind of chud. I do a nightly news show. We do the news headlines. Fucking Google Jared Kushner, Saudi Arabia, $2 billion. Learn about it, fucker. No shame in liking some big dong. Now I don't want too big of a dong, because if I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna bottom, which is rare. I don't want it to be too fucking big. I know you don't want to, because you're a fucking idiot. I just told you, Jared Kushner has a $2 billion deal with Saudi Arabia. If you want to know more, look it up. Jesus Christ. We're going to do the news. We're going to find out what that news be doing. And right now we're going to talk about Iran.
We begin tonight in Iran, where that country's attorney general says that Iran's controversial morality police, whose actions helped trigger months of protests, may soon be gone. Iranian state media strongly pushed back on those comments, saying the Interior Ministry oversees that force, not the judiciary. Still, the remarks would represent the first concession by Iran's theocratic regime since demonstrations erupted in September after the death of 22-year-old Mahsa Amini in police custody for allegedly breaking strict rules on head coverings. U.S. Secretary of State Tony Blinken addressed the comments today.
If the regime has now responded in some fashion to those protests, That could be a positive thing, but we have to see how it actually plays out in practice and what the Iranian people think.
I agree with Blinken on that.
There have been reports of a decline in the number of morality.
Well, it has been a wild few days. I praised Lindsey Graham, John Kennedy, Ted Cruz, and Josh Hawley. I retweeted Matt Walsh and said that he was correct. And now I just agreed with the U.S. State Department on something. This is wild. What kind of timeline is this?
Across Iran since the protests started, but the country's law requiring hijabs, or head coverings for women, remains in place. And on this NFL Sunday, Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson is back on.
Wow, I literally got this video because it's a good 3.5 minute video about Iran. I originally had a BBC news story that I was going to read. I was like, PBS did a 3.5 minute. They'll do a good job of really getting in depth on this. No, they fucking didn't. We moved to covering football. What the fuck is up with PBS? Let me go back and find it. Let's do the BBC story here because I want to get into it. Because Mahsa Amini is not the only young lady to be killed by Iran. We've got protesters that are locked up that are facing the death penalty. Iran's morality police, which is tasked with enforcing the country's Islamic dress code, is being disbanded. This is only according to the country's Attorney General Mohammad Jafar Montazeri's comments, which have yet to be confirmed by other agencies. Mahsa Amini had been detained by the morality police for allegedly breaking strict rules on head coverings. Mr. Montazeri was at a religious conference when he was asked if the morality police was being disbanded. The morality police had nothing to do with the judiciary and have been shut down from where they were set up, he said. Control of the force lies with the Interior Ministry and not with the judiciary. Cicero, good evening. Oh, so he's got sexual assault allegation. I don't know. I don't watch fucking football. On Saturday, Mr. Montazeri also told the Iranian parliament the law that requires women to wear hijabs would be looked at. Even if the morality police is shut down, this does not mean the decades-old law will be changed. Women-led protests labeled riots by authorities have swept Iran since 22-year-old Amini died in custody on September 16th, 3 days after her arrest by the morality police in Tehran. Her death was the catalyst for the unrest, but it also follows discontent over poverty, unemployment, inequality, injustice, and corruption. If confirmed, the scrapping of the morality police would be a concession, but there are no guarantees that it would be enough to halt the protests, which have seen demonstrators burn their head coverings. Another woman said, "We, the protesters, don't care about no hijab no more. We've been going out without it for the past 70 days. We have also seen young men knocking off the head coverings of clerics. I'm for it." What a fantastic protest. Iran has had various forms of morality police since the 1979 Islamic Revolution, but the latest version, known formally as the, I'm going to butcher it, Got Ashrad, currently the main agency tasked with enforcing Iran's Islamic Code of Conduct. And the patrols in 2006 to enforce the dress code, which also requires women to wear long clothes and forbids shorts, ripped jeans, and other clothes deemed immodest. And this is another result of U.S. foreign policy where we went in, took out a democratically elected leader, and ended up with a fascist revolution. Perhaps the U.S. shouldn't involve itself in such things. Just saying. I don't even know what I've knocked off my fucking desk. Was that my lighter? I don't even have a cat in here. Not a single cat is in here. Like, Smokey was laying on Curious's bed when I came through here, and I'm like, the fuck are you doing in there? You never go in there. You're in here with me all the time. Apparently he wanted a little change of scenery. Her granddaughter was here this weekend, and I love holding the kitties and letting her pet them. It's so sweet. Buddy, fucking shut up, Steelers. Fucking shit. Merkin, good evening. Well, Mark Hamill, I appreciate your concern. So sorry you were treated so unfairly, Justin. Hang in there. It will get better. Oh, God.
Hey, Justin, are you trolling?
Motherfucker, we're not talking about Hunter Biden right now. We're trying to do fucking important news. Hunter Biden is way down the list where we're gonna make fun of right-wingers making fucking nonsense into a fucking big deal. Jesus Christ, you're an idiot.
Come on, man.
All right, if you really want the dick pic. I'm dealing with fucking idiots. It has been non-stop. It has been non-stop all fucking weekend. I'm still where I'm like conserving real pot. I've got like one bowl left here. Bowl of real. I've been smoking the gunk, but like you guys are gonna drive me to fucking putting some real pot in. Save this for after the show. No, I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it so I can chill out after this is over with. I'm old, I'm tired, I'm injured, and I work with children. Pop some CM Punk fans. Everybody else is like, what the fuck are you talking about? Once again, this is a rumor. I always try to couch everything in the proper context. Putin fell downstairs, soiled himself as speculation over worsening health grows. President Putin. Russian President Vladimir Putin fell down the stairs and soiled himself this week amid mounting speculation that his health is declining. An anti-Kremlin Telegram channel with apparent links to a security team reported. Putin, 70, suffered the unfortunate fall at his Moscow official residence on Wednesday evening, according to the Telegram channel, General SVR, which purports to be run by a former Russian spy. The ailing Russian leader allegedly fell down 5 steps before landing on his... Is this a word I should know? His coccyx? Coccyx. A small triangular bone at the base of the spinal column in humans and some apes.
Coccyx.
You live in sexual anarchy?
His dick. He landed on his cock. That's a lopsy. I'm always worried I'm saying that wrong. Good evening, though. So glad to see you. I'm sorry that you work with kids, Fuzzy Simba. I'm sure that is horrible. That's one of the things all the people call me, pedophile and groomer. Okay, sure, you think I'm a pedophile. I work for myself, so there's no worry of a boss fucking Googling me and seeing a bunch of people call me pedophile. And I hate kids, and I'm never around them. So, and everyone in my life will tell you, yeah, he fucking hates kids and does not want to be around them. Justin sleeps with his boss, indeed. Because my boss is a cat by the name of Socrates. Although the security guards immediately rushed to his aid, the impact of the fall caused Putin to involuntarily defecate due to cancer affecting his stomach and bowels. Once again, this is all speculation. The incident is the latest health scare for Putin, who is rumored to be suffering from worsening cancer and Parkinson's disease amid the ongoing war in Ukraine. What, my bloodline? Motherfucker. I like, it's idiocracy. It's literally happening. People like me aren't having kids, and all the dumb people are fucking all the time. But luckily for society, unlike the movie Idiocracy, I know that according to statistics, if two dumb people have a kid, the kid is very likely to be smarter because IQ regresses to the mean. But idiots have no clue what I just said. Landed on his dick, and that hurt so much he shat himself. I mean, have you ever landed on your dick? The EU is attempting to impose a price cap on Russian oil. Russia has rejected the cap. I believe this piece that we're getting ready to watch is before Russia actually rejected it. I don't know what that means. If the EU... Luckily, your people kill your babies. We're dealing with the absolute dumbest fucks walking the planet. They think they're smart. Steelers fan thinks he's intelligent. Luckily, your people kill your babies. Sir, if you see anybody killing babies, please report it to the cops. That is murder. Right-wingers are morons. Just like the dude I was having an argument with on YouTube that was like, I've seen videos of people grooming children. I was like, report it to the cops then, because that's illegal. Oh, but you haven't seen that. You've been watching libs of TikTok and you've seen just gay people existing. Or trans non-binary people just existing. And to you, that's grooming. Fucking idiots. Yeah, you were talking about abortion. I know exactly what you're talking about, but here's the thing. Babies have been born, idiot. I'd have had an extra kid just to cover for me. Girl of the Gray. Good evening. Oh my God. Babies are a communist plot. I don't talk to kids about me fucking. Buddy, I run a fucking 18 plus channel and I'm never around kids. If a kid comes in here and listens to me talk about fucking, they did it on their own and they're not supposed to be in here. What an idiot.
Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
Seriously, I'm surrounded by absolute morons. I wish you people could understand that you're not that bright. It's okay to not have opinions on things that you don't understand. I agree with that. I'm saying a in-person conversation. This idiot can't type a cogent sentence and they think they are fucking smart. Hold on. Smokey wants in. He is yelling outside the door. Here's your Smokey. Talk to him. I never can get Smokey to say anything on stream, even though he's one of the most vocal cats I've ever had. Yeah, Cicero, we're getting ready to get to that. We've got other shit to cover too. There's a parade has been canceled in Kentucky. All kinds of fascist shit going on, but idiots like Steelers wants to talk about nonsense. The EU wanting to impose price caps on Russian oil. Let's hear from Bloomberg News about this.
So let's just start off, I guess, with what is, for a lot of people, the elephant in the room. $60 a barrel on Russian oil at a cost of production that for Russia is well below that. Does this actually have any real impact at all on prices?
So the near-term answer is no. $60 cap is above where Urals are currently trading. That's Russia's benchmark crude. So this is not punitive to Russia. They can very easily say price caps are irrelevant, business as usual, and keep selling at a price that falls, underneath that cap and take advantage of Western insurance and shipping. Now, there does remain to be seen if Russia does respond that way. They have been very vocal in saying, we will not participate in a cap regardless of price.
And they have said, we will not participate in the cap.
Just at that perfect level so that they may actually get on board. But they have another grade of crude called ESPO, which is trading above the cap. So it's not a sure thing that they don't retaliate. But for now, the market is A, reducing the risk that they do retaliate based on that price, and B, and this is important, fairly confident.
And we're talking about Russian oil right now, but I do want to point out that oil prices are expected to plummet over the next month, with many economists expecting the price to drop below $3. But you're not going to hear right-wingers being like, thanks, Biden.
That Russia has amassed enough of a shadow fleet that in the event they do decide to not participate in the cap, they have enough vessels to carry that crude to India and China on their own.
Well, just curious, so are those Russia's own vessels, or are they actually leasing out from other nations, basically using other nations' vessels as a cover?
Both. So they have been very active buying vessels, used vessels, old vessels, vessels that were set to go to scrap. They are also leasing other vessels.
How many times can you say vessels?
Some of the fleet that's available from China and India, who have been pretty, on board with continuing to buy Russian crude. They've figured out ways to provide insurance. So they've been working behind the scenes to prepare themselves for this retaliation event. It's not necessarily a sure thing, but the market is reading it this way. Okay, the price is good enough, lowering the chance of retaliation. If we get retaliation, we don't think there's this massive disruption to crude oil flows.
I feel like $60 price cap is something that people had speculated on and were pretty much anticipating. Does this move the market? And if not, what?
I've got to address it. Grooming means something specific. And you don't know what the word means. Fucking shit. Grooming is the act of victim selection. Abusers often observe possible victims and select them based on the ease of access to them, gaining access and isolating the victims. This is what grooming is. Users will attempt to physically or emotionally separate a victim from those protecting them, and often seek out positions in which they have contact with minors. This is very important to remember, as I'm going to point out who actually does grooming in this country. Trust development and keeping secrets. Abusers attempt to gain trust of a potential victim through gifts, attention, sharing secrets, and other means to make them feel that they have a caring relationship and to train them to keep the relationship secret. Desensitization to touch and discussion of sexual topics. Abusers will often start to touch a victim in ways that appear harmless, such as hugging, wrestling, and tickling, and later escalate to increasingly more sexual contact, such as messages or showering together. Abusers may also show the victim pornography or discuss sexual topics with them to introduce the idea of sexual contact. Attempt by abusers to make their behavior seem natural, to avoid raising suspicions. For teens who may be closer in age to the abuser, it can be particularly hard to recognize tactics used in grooming. Be alert for signs that your teen has a relationship with an adult that includes secrecy, undue influence or control, or pushes personal boundaries. What that means, and all the statistics back this up, is that the people that abuse children are people in their own families, they are neighbors, or they are members of churches. Grooming is what the cop in Virginia that drove to California did. Catfishing cop pretended to be 17 and groomed. Fucking Los Angeles Times behind a paywall here. Groomed a teen in California. Let me show you what else is grooming. The U.S. Southern Baptist Church faces apocalypse over sexual abuse scandal. A report named hundreds of church leaders accused or found guilty of abusing children and says survivors were mistreated. The church admits that they were doing grooming. But you guys never bring that up. You guys don't talk about fucking churches. Let me give you another example of grooming. The Louisville Metro Police Department that had an Explorer Scout program was raping kids. That's grooming. You guys don't care about actual grooming. You just call people on the internet pedophiles and groomers to, one, act morally self-righteous, two, to try to fucking denigrate people that you disagree with. Who in the fuck is providing teens with pornography? You stupid fuck. I'm calling people pedos and groomers, and I showed you who they are. They are the churches and the cops that abuse their positions of power. Idiots. But you guys don't actually care about groomers. Get your emotions in check, dumb fuck. Now, I'm going to go back to doing the news. Can you stop being stupid? Because I'm fucking tired of this moral panic that white Christian nationalists, fucking Nazis, are trying to attack my friends and people around me as groomers. They've been calling me groomer and pedo all fucking weekend. Sitting Cow, good evening, my friend. So glad to see you. War Machine. So glad to have you here. Gosh, it's Kenzai. Thank you. I'm sorry. Did I say that correctly, Kenzai? Thank you for being a freaking follower. We're so glad to have you. Anyone here that is new, I can summarize my political beliefs with one simple phrase. I would give anything in the world to piss in Dan Crenshaw's open eye hole. So, whatever political beliefs allow me to piss in Dan Crenshaw's open eye hole, that is what I believe. I'll also accept Stuart Rhodes. Good evening, my friend. Oh yeah, the Chud's over on YouTube. A lot of Chuds over on YouTube. I think I have screenshots of shit here. Like, I got fucking threatened. These idiots are making threats at me, calling me a pedo and a groomer all over my own fucking videos for, you know, advocating comprehensive sex education. I'll show you a couple of examples here. This isn't the threat. And it's the same thing. It's the same goddamn thing Steelers is saying. The children are not there for the validation or gratification of the teacher. Professional standards requires kids not know everything about their teacher's life. Pushing things like that is grooming. Exactly. You don't have any evidence of anything nefarious, just idiotic accusations. You look dumb. I have seen it. It's on video. It's not okay. It's creepy. It's grooming. One man literally turned his classroom into a gay disco and videoed it. Oh my God, a gay disco, the outrage. Do you know what gay disco sounds like to me? A fucking blast. It sounds like a redundant statement because disco in and of itself implies gay, I would think. Lady B, good evening. I've been called pedophile and groomer all fucking weekend because I dare stand up for the LGBTQ community, and I dare advocate for teens to be caught comprehensive sex education and have access to contraceptives. That makes me a groomer, apparently. Because right-wingers are morons. They just use that fucking word to act morally self-righteous. They don't actually give a fuck about children, or they would be concerned with the issues I brought up, such as the Southern Baptist Convention, such as police departments raping kids. They don't give a shit about actual grooming. All they care about is trying to dehumanize a fucking marginalized group, and I'm not gonna let it happen. I am going to stand up to them at every fucking turn. When I see your bullshit, I'm going to call it out. And here, this is the one that should fucking scare the shit out of you. Hold on. This dude needs to be canceled. This is the video I put up of DM Ninetales and I talking about sex education for teens. This dude needs to be canceled. I said, for what, idiot? For being a pedo. For agreeing with underage sex. That's a pedo-type mentality. I kill pedophiles. Shit, even if you're not a pedophile, but you still give a pedophile-type vibe, I'ma take your life. These are the words of a fucking fascist. This is Nazi-ass talk. Yeah, I love how, and like, apparently seeing a teacher put on a gay disco will turn your kid gay, and that's bad. But promoting guns won't turn your kid into a mass shooter. Explain that one to me. It's not new. It is not new, but it is getting worse. It is getting worse. It is amplifying at an alarmingly fast rate. Like, it has gotten far worse in the last month. Dealers, you don't know anything about fuck, dude. You don't know jack shit about anything. You're like this other dude who didn't have an actual example. Oh, I'm scared of gay discos. You think gay discos are grooming? Idiot. And what you guys are trying to do is you're trying to cancel culture The LGBTQ community. You want to put them back in the closet, and I ain't gonna fucking let that happen.
Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
Not to mention that these are the assholes that are constantly talking about virtue signaling. That's what I call calling people a pedophile and a groomer on the internet. You are virtue signaling. You don't do any, like, I had somebody in one of the political shit show Discord tell me they hump pedophiles. No, you just jack yourself off online and say you hump pedophiles to act morally superior. You don't do shit. Except accuse people baselessly of being pedophiles. Fucking idiots. And when we come back, we're going to see what this shit leads to. They have declared a state of emergency in North Carolina because of this bullshit. A Christmas parade has been canceled because of threats. Now, this one isn't having to do with the LGBTQ community. It's having to do with Emmett Till. We're going to talk about turnout in Georgia. A congressperson admits that... I think they're a congressperson. I might have that wrong. A GOP official admits Herschel Walker is quite possibly the worst GOP candidate in history. We're going to go over the dud of a story put forward by Matt Taibbi about Hunter Biden's schlong. Then we're going to talk about how Trump wants to abolish the Constitution. Because, you know, the Republican Party is the party of law and order. Video of Nick Fuentes throwing a fucking hissy fit inside an In-N-Out. Chris Christie's niece assaulted some cops. We got 5 cops charged in Connecticut with assault. I mentioned the Louisville Metro Police Department, one of the most corrupt police departments in the country. That's the police department that killed Breonna Taylor. That's the police department that arrested a dude for murder. And the entire community told the police they were wrong. The police refused to admit it. So the community went and got the security footage to prove their innocence. Because the cops can't be bothered to do their job. No, they're too busy out raping women. There has been numerous allegations of the Louisville Metro Police Department raping women. Arresting women and then forcing them to have sex with the officers. On top of them raping kids. But I'm going to show you video of one of them groping a woman in a convenience store. And the city of Louisville has had to pay out for that cop's fucking negligence and abuse. Not even negligence. It is straight up fucking abuse. Negligence was not the right word. So that's why some people might feel the need to ambush cops. Show you a fugitive wild video of them ambushing cops and a shootout taking place. Plus, we're going to cover the Dr. Pepper challenge that happened at the SEC title game, which apparently had some controversy. And we're going to finish it up with video of the world's oldest land animal getting a bath. All that and more on the other side of the break here on the Troll Patrol Live. Gwyneth Paltrow is one of the biggest stars on Earth. An actress, a singer, an author, an entrepreneur. She is an Academy Award winner and owner of a successful lifestyle brand, albeit with a questionable name. Why then is she stealing her ideas from a barely known comedian from Appalachia? Earlier this year, Paltrow launched her This Candle Smells Like My Vagina product under her Goop brand. There's just one little issue, Miss Paltrow. I came up with the idea for pussy candles back in 2013. It's from my stand-up comedy routine, Pussy in the Morning, where I coined the concept of a vagina-scented perfume I called Eau de Twat. The next line in that routine goes a little something like this. And that inspired me to create a scented candle, which also looks like a vagina and smells like a turned-on vagina. So you burn it, you get the smell of vagina, and then after it's finished, it looks like a freshly fucked pussy, all floppy and sloppy. So, since Miss Paltrow is clearly infringing on an idea I had that long predates her product, I would like a cut of that $75 she's charging for her ripped-off cunt candle. Please donate to my legal fund by visiting my Patreon. Show this bougie liberal elitist that she can't steal her ideas from the hardworking people of America's heartland. And I will use the money from that settlement to bring affordable pussy-scented candles to market. Available to all the masses, not just Elton John. Elton John? Why does he like the smell of pussy? Right-wingers are morons. Absolute fucking morons. I'm just trying to talk to you. I'm just saying every dumb fucking thing a right-winger says. I'm not listening to anything you have to say, but I'm trying to talk to you. Idiots. A sus Elton moment, what? I don't know why he's into pussy candles. I mean, I think pussy smells good. I mean, and maybe Elton is sexually liberated. Maybe they invite women in. Lady B, I'm rooting you on. No, you have a pretty good reason. So once again, this is the kind of shit that I've been getting on my YouTube channel all fucking weekend. For saying that teens should have access to comprehensive sex education and contraceptives. Apparently that's a controversial position. So here is this dude saying that a gay disco is grooming. Here's another dude threatening my life. Says that I should be killed for being a pedo. The kind of people we are dealing with here. So it is no wonder that we have results like this, where a state of emergency has had to be declared in North Carolina because some white nationalist fascists decided to shoot up a power substation. We're going to go to the local news hit in Moore County, North Carolina. Get all the details here.
Hey, Dewan, yes, thousands of people are in the dark and in the cold. I want to just show you what it looks like in this community. We are at the intersection of West Monroe and McNichol. The street lights are out, so are the traffic signals. The only light coming through are from the headlights and brake lights of cars. We know this is all due to a massive power outage. The sheriff, Ronnie Fields, says this was deliberate and targeted. There were a lot of questions today if this outage was connected to this drag show that happened Saturday night in town, and some people opposed it. So Sheriff Ronnie Fields made it clear at this time there is no connection, but there's always a possibility. So they are investigating all angles. Back out here live at the...
I love that it went on and that the drag queens are up there having fun. Unfortunately, a lot of the drag shows that are going forward without incident are having to be protected by left-wing armed groups.
You can see where people are still just driving about town trying to figure things out, but it is complete darkness in this area. Now, Sheriff Fields said the massive outage is due to major damage to 2 power substations in the county. He explained that 2 substations were shot up with millions of dollars in damage. Sheriff Fields made it clear that this was an attempt to shut down Moore County.
We're looking at all avenues. That's the reason I've got the professionals, the federal folks. They deal with the domestic terrorism more than locals. So they're on board and they're working with us.
Called in the FBI.
Exactly. Who done this. Now I can say this individual that done this, it was targeted. It wasn't random. Coward is what I'd call it. But we don't have anything. No motivation. No group has stepped up to acknowledge or accept that they're the ones that done it. So, yeah, I call them cowards.
I do not trust the cops at all, but he seems genuinely upset about it, so we'll see what happens.
The criminal investigation is one part of the story. The other part, that massive power outage, and this is very critical. A lot of people in need at this hour, people who may depend on oxygen, people who may have dialysis treatments coming up. So Duke Energy, their spokesperson, Jeff Brooks, was in a press conference this afternoon. He said it's going to take several days to restore power in this county. It could be the end of the week, and they are looking at several paths to restoration.
We do want citizens of the town to be prepared that this will be a multi-day restoration for most customers, extending potentially as long as Thursday.
So this is a criminal investigation that goes beyond Moore County. The SBI, FBI are both involved. Right now, though, Moore County is under a state of emergency. It went into effect at 4 o'clock. There's also a curfew in place that starts at 9 p.m. tonight and will continue until Monday morning at 5 a.m. There's a lot of people in this county that may need a warm place tonight. There is an emergency shelter set up at the Moore County Sportsplex in Carthage. In Moore County tonight, I'm Janice Price, ABC 11 Eyewitness News.
Yeah, Jimmy, so with tens of thousands of people without power, have you had a chance to speak with anyone there on the street or around town? Are they sharing anything with you about how they feel about this entire situation?
Now, we've heard from several people in the community. People are going to gas stations outside of the county in order to get gas and to have a place to charge their phones. So there are a lot of people who are impacted, and you can see people are trying to get out of town right now to get to a place where they can probably get something to eat, a place where they can charge their phones. So about 15 minutes from where we are right now, as we were coming into town, we did see some places that had power, so people are going into those areas. So we saw it was pretty busy over there, but getting closer to town, that's when you saw the traffic signals out. You saw that the community was without street lights. So again, DeJuan, this is impacting a lot of people. When you think about it, there's a lot of people who need power, electricity in this area. We're talking critical people here, and those folks, as I mentioned, needing a dialysis treatment. So those are things you really don't think about, until you just sit there and say, okay, this is going to impact a lot of people.
Yeah, Kenzai, this is Moore County, North Carolina. This is where 2 power substations have been shot up. The cops are saying that it is an intentional attack that was planned and carried out. They shot up 2 power substations in the county, and it looks like the entire county is without power at the moment.
People, this is truly widespread.
Yeah, certainly not the way a lot of folks wanted to end their weekend or start their work week.
Yes, the speculation is it was to prevent the drag show that was scheduled to happen. We actually had video of the drag show here.
Jeff Brooks earlier.
no connection, but there's always made it clear at this time there is no connection. The sheriff, Ronnie Fields, says this was deliberate and targeted. There were a lot of questions today if this outage was connected to this drag show that happened Saturday night in town, and some people opposed it. So Sheriff Ronnie Fields made it clear at this time there is no connection, but there's...
So we don't know of a connection yet, but it sure seems like it, based on the terrorism. Steelers. You're talking about the LGBTQ community being pedophiles and groomers with absolutely no evidence. I showed you actual examples of groomers. You did not give a fuck. You have never said a word about churches being groomers. What is up, Smash? So we don't take you seriously. I showed you actual, literal groomers. Gave you multiple examples. You do not give a shit about them. You are trying to slander a community I belong to. You are trying to slander me and my friends. And I will not let you do it. You are a piece of shit. You are repeating Nazi talking points, and you and your bullshit is one of the reasons why this shit is going on in North Carolina.
Possibility, so they are investigating all angles. Back out here live at the intersection of McNichols and Monroe, you can see where people are still just driving about town.
And nobody is using the LGBTQ community to try to target children. But churches do it all the fucking time. Fucking shit. You are a moron. Buddy, I bet you do. I bet you fucking go and give your money to churches. But if you're not actually talking, like, okay, I can't believe that you care about groomers if you're not talking about the actual groomers. If you're making up accusations about the LGBT community and then you never fucking say shit about churches, you don't actually care about groomers, you're just a fucking bigot. And you can go fuck yourself. Idiot. Do you understand? You do not care about groomers. You just want to slander a community, and I'm not going to have it. I don't give a shit if you've been to church or not. I showed you where the groomers are, so shut the fuck up about the LGBTQ community. You got me? You want to raise the issue of groomers, start talking about churches, start talking about cops, because I gave you multiple examples. Can your dumb ass understand that? You do not care about groomers and pedophiles. You're just acting morally self-righteous. You are trying to slander people on the internet because you are an idiot. And I'm not going to have it. From bigots to racists, a Christmas parade in Kentucky has had to be canceled because of protests, because of threats against a protest, where members of the community are wanting Emmett Till's actual killer to be arrested. A Kentucky city canceled its Christmas parade after someone threatened to shoot members of a group who planned nearby protest against Emmett Till's accuser. Threats to protesters at a rally to honor, in the honor of Emmett Till, led to the cancellation of a nearby Christmas parade. Authorities in Bowling Green, Kentucky, said there was a threat to shoot anyone who is protesting. Christmas parade in Bowling Green, Kentucky was canceled after there were threats to shoot protesters at a nearby rally in remembrance of Emmett Till. The JC's Christmas parade scheduled for Saturday was canceled out of an abundance of caution, according to a statement shared on Facebook in which organizers said they were working to come up with another date for the parade. The safety of our participants and spectators is always our main focus. We have been in constant communication with law enforcement and have felt all week that we could provide a safe, fun event. With this latest information, we knew that postponing was our best option. The KY Marketplace Mistletoe Market in Bowling Green was also canceled due to events beyond our control, the organization said on Facebook, in a move to ensure the safety of vendors and patrons. In a joint statement shared early on Saturday morning, officers from the Bowling Green Police Department and the Warren County Sheriff's Office said there was a threat to the protest scheduled for noon on Saturday. Their statement.
Good morning. I'm Chief Michael Delaney with the Bowling Green Police Department. Sheriff Brett Hightower and I would like to share some information with you. As publicized, there are at least 3 groups planning a protest to take place at noon on Saturday. These groups intend to protest simultaneously at the Justice Center on Center Street and the 1000 block of Shive Lane.
Late this evening, we learned of a threat to these protesters. The specific
high enough for the shit either, girl.
Threatening to shoot anyone who is protesting and anyone helping the protesters. As of this moment, we have not been able to determine the validity of this threat. However, we feel it is important to alert our citizens.
The Bowling Green Police Department is working closely with the...
So I got more idiots in here. DM, I didn't ban you. That has always been on Phoebe. Phoebe banned you, and Phoebe banned you just because you're intolerable. And yes, I did indeed defend the movie Cuties. Because it's not grooming. It was the personal story of the director. Also, the director is French. And let me tell you something, in France, they don't have this weird sexual repression. They show nudity on TV. So it's a completely different culture where they're not fucking repressed idiots like DM. Now, I want to Google a term for you guys. And this is exactly what DM and Steelers are participating in. It's called blood libel. It's called blood libel. An anti-Semitic canard which falsely accuses Jews of murdering Christian boys in order to use their blood in the performance of religious rituals. This is just another form of blood libel. Once again, the point of the movie Cuties was that the sexual exploitation of children is bad.
Do you think we're stupid? You think we're fools?
I love how these people think a movie that portrays the sexual exploitation of children as bad is actually some kind of pedo movie. And beauty pageants. Holy shit. That's grooming. So I'm not going to let you fucking white Christian nationalists, you fucking fascists, come in here and try to fucking bash people. I'm going to push back. I'm going to push back. I'm not going to cede ground to your nonsense. You are a fucking idiot. You are a fascist. Some repressed incel, 23 years old, who's never seen a fucking vagina in his life should shut the fuck up about sex, because you know nothing about it. And you people that are obsessed with calling everybody else pedos and groomers are probably projecting. I know DM isn't, because he's just a fucking incel. You're an incel. I know about your sex life because I asked you about it, idiot. Professor Q, if you insist, I wasn't gonna ban him. But if you insist, like I'll leave it up to you guys in the chat. You definitely do need to be modded though. I don't ban anyone, just like I didn't ban fucking DM from the Discord. That was Phoebe's decision, not mine. They were just tired of you saying the same nonsense over and over again, dumb shit. Oh, Porg, are you not a fucking mod? Let me go back to you. I never have YouTube up. I'm sorry, guys. What's that, Porg? Yeah, timeout works. Why do I not see? Oh, there's Porg. You have a wrench now. My mods are cowards. You get a mod. You get a mod. Mox, good evening. Yeah, you are bad. I went into that political shit show server, and it was just nothing but everybody calling Ninetales a pedophile. And I asked what fucking evidence they had, and they were like, oh, it was in voice chat. We can't prove it. And I don't believe you. I don't believe any of the people in that fucking server. I think you're all just idiots that call people groomers and pedophiles to act morally self-righteous. You are committing literal blood libel. You're fucking Nazis, and you have blood on your hands. I can't believe where we are as a country. There is a literal genocide of trans people, of the LGBTQ community going on. And I'm not here for it. The majority of that server is trans. Shut the fuck up, idiot. The majority of that server is fascist. I don't give a shit what they identify as. They are fascist as fuck. When you just call somebody pedophile for no reason, to try to silence them, to dehumanize them. Okay, the LOL cow in my channel is calling me an LOL cow. The irony. These people have zero self-awareness. My God. Speaking of LOL cows, let's talk about Herschel fucking Walker. Turnout in Georgia up.
2 years after the runoff election that propelled Raphael Warnock to the U.S. Senate, the incumbent Democrat trying to galvanize voters to turn back out to vote. Friday marks the last day of early voting, with the Georgia Secretary of
Working on it, trying to fill a bowl.
1 million voters have already cast their votes.
Move on. Good evening.
Reports of long lines at polling locations across the state.
I would not be surprised if Warnock beats him by 6-7 points, if not more. Tadpole. Sudden Apollo. Awesome. Is that a gift sub or resub? Whatever. Fucking resubbed. Love your face, Sudden Apollo. I would not be surprised if it's 6, 7, 8 or more points. Because there's no motivation on the right side. Herschel Walker is a shitty-ass candidate, which we're going to go into here in a second. And there's nothing at stake for them, right? So this, I have one bowl of actual weed left, and I'm saving it for after the show. Working on getting some of my, this shake resin fucking shit I got going on here. We watched Obama roast Walker on the Freak Show on Friday. We're gonna watch John Kennedy campaigning for Walker here in just a little bit.
Turnout higher in heavily Democratic counties. The latest poll conducted after the 2022 midterms and released Thursday by Emerson College Polling shows Warnock 2 points ahead of Republican Herschel Walker, but still within the margin of error. While Joe Biden remains unpopular in Georgia, with the same Thursday poll showing 52% of Peach State voters disapprove of the current president,
Devin Heavy
remains one of Democrats.
Welcome, my friend.
But I'm here today for the same reason that I was here the last time. To ask you to vote one more time for my friend and your outstanding senator.
He's been a better senator than expected.
Surrogate for Republicans, former President Donald Trump, has yet to make an appearance in Georgia for the runoff, despite his decision to kick off his comeback 2024 bid for the White House. Meanwhile, Walker has appeared.
Ossoff has been much better than expected. I thought Ossoff was going to be just a younger version of Joe Manchin.
RNC Chair Ronna McDaniel, Senator Lindsey Graham, and Republican Governor Brian Kemp. Kemp, fresh off his own re-election bid, earned 210,000 more votes than fellow Republican Walker, who is on the same ballot. Now, with Walker alone on the ticket, Republicans need to rally behind him in big numbers to win this hotly
Ain't gonna happen.
Now, regardless of what happens here this coming Tuesday, Democrats will still control.
And we will indeed be covering the election on Tuesday, of course.
Warnock back to the U.S. Senate would ease Democrats' woes in Washington and also insulate against tough re-election battles for many Democrats across the map in 2024. Dell?
Nate Reed for us in Atlanta tonight. Nate, thank you very much.
Dale, what's going on, my friend? Let's go to GOP official Jeff Duncan. Jeff Duncan stating the obvious here. The Georgia GOP Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan says Herschel Walker will probably go down as one of the worst candidates in our party's history. I mean, I can name a hell of a lot of candidates, though. Fucking, remember, Dennis Hastert was Speaker of the House, and he's an admitted child molester. Speaking of groomers. Jeff Duncan was sharply, speaking of groomers, there's more than a few in the House, and they all have R's out from their names. Jeff Duncan was sharply critical of Herschel Walker's Senate candidacy in a CBS News interview. I think Herschel Walker will probably go down as one of the worst candidates in our party's history. Do I have the video here? Hold on. I figured he was giving an interview to like the Atlanta Journal-Constitution or something. Let me pull up the video. We'll get his fucking comments. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution, one of the best newspapers in the country, by the way. He was on CBS Today. Apparently he's given several interviews bashing Walker. Here we go.
Earlier today, CBS News congressional correspondent Nicole Killian discussed the runoff election with the lieutenant governor of Georgia. The Republican explained why he decided not to vote for fellow party member Herschel Walker.
I'm a conservative. I'm a conservative because I think it's the best way to govern. I've been a Republican a lot longer than a lot of folks. I think I've got kids probably that could articulate the conservative platform better than some of the candidates that Donald Trump and his group supported all across.
Wow.
It wasn't the right brand for Republicanism. And I think Herschel Walker will probably go down as one of the worst Republican candidates in our party's history.
Earlier today, CBS News congressional correspondent Nicole Killian.
It's a pretty fraught history, I hate to tell you.
Discussed the runoff election.
Craig Leo, good evening.
Of Georgia. The Republican explained why he decided not to vote for fellow party member Herschel Walker.
I'm a conservative. I'm a conservative because I think it's the best way to govern. I've been a Republican a lot longer than a lot of folks. I think I've got kids probably that could articulate the conservative platform better than some of the candidates that Donald Trump and his group supported all of.
Well, here's the thing. You guys don't actually have a platform. I wouldn't think it's so much that he's black, it's that this dude, he sees the writing on the wall. Walker is going to lose. And he's trying to get out in front of it, I believe. Maybe I'm too high for this shit. No, I'm not high enough. Let's go to a Herschel Walker rally that was held, I don't know if this was today or yesterday. A Walker supporter screams during a Senator Kennedy speech that Obama is the altar of the devil. What in the fuck does that even mean? So this is the senator from Louisiana, John Kennedy, old lady Kennedy over here.
President Obama, he's very eloquent. He can talk a hungry dog off a meat wagon. He's got a silver tongue. I still want to see his birth certificate. And President Obama,
I still want to see his birth certificate. Motherfucker, just Google it. You can Google it and find it, you dumb piece of shit.
the media, hi media, how y'all doing? The media loves President Obama. They worship at the altar of President Obama. Altar to the devil. Now, President Obama wouldn't do this, but if he told many members of the media to go join the Taliban, they'd say, where's the line?
Wow. So if he... It does look like a fucking Nazi salute now, doesn't it? Not high enough for this shit. Clinically, good evening. They keep doing this shit. And I mean, like, they don't want to be called Nazi. But, like, all of the conservative platforms in the last couple months have had Kanye West on. Now, apparently it took until he went on with Alex Jones and flat out said he loved Hitler for these right-wingers to disavow him. But we've all known who Kanye West was. And he has been on all of their shows in the past couple of months. Hell, Tucker Carlson edited out comments that made Kanye look like a fucking Nazi. Yep. Simp, that's exactly what I was talking about. Cut part of the interview where Kanye had gone off on some anti-Semitism to make him look better. So you can't platform a Nazi and then claim you're not, like, fucking at least aligned with Nazis. Patriot Prayer, the Three Percenters, the Oath Keepers, Proud Boys, they are Nazis. What up, producer Dave? Disabled followers only mode. I I don't know. I haven't checked the settings. Apparently some shit did change. Check out Senator John Kennedy from Louisiana. Doing a Nazi salute here. My God. Speaking of Nazis, let's talk about one. Nick Fuentes was in an In-N-Out burger. Nick Fuentes, Kanye West's white supremacist associate, is filmed hurling a soda cup at customers inside an In-N-Out burger. White supremacist Nick Fuentes, an associate of Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, was filmed launching his drink at customers of a Los Angeles In-N-Out burger. Fuentes, who controversially attended a dinner meeting with Ye and former President Donald Trump last month, reportedly got into an argument with a couple who approached him and YouTube Sneeko, according to a witness per TMZ. According to witnesses who spoke to the media outlet, the couple then threw ketchup at Fuentes. Sneeko confirmed this account in a video shared on Twitter. He pointed out the visible ketchup marks.
Before this goes viral, I know this is going to look bad on Nick Fuentes. You can see him throwing a Sprite in the In-N-Out. But if you look at the ceiling right here, you see there's ketchup all over. That's because some lady and her husband came up to us, flipped us off, and then threw the ketchup all over me and Nick.
Buddy, I think Nazis deserve a hell of a lot more than ketchup. And I'm fucking done playing with you dumbasses.
Mostly Nick. I just wiped it out of my hoodie, and he retaliated with the Sprite. That's actually what happened. We were attacked first, and we told them to go away. They went away and threw ketchup at us. He should not have thrown a Sprite, but that's the truth. And it's all over my favorite hoodie, man.
Can't throw a Sprite for shit. So let's see that video. This is video of Fuentes throwing his Sprite. I thought it was a milkshake when I saw it. One, he looks sad and lonely over there. No audio. I saw somebody state that those were his bodyguards, but I don't think that's the case. And I'm amazed those two dudes didn't give Nicky what he deserved. This dude saw him getting ready to throw it. Like they knew something was going on. Should probably beat his fucking ass right then and there. Shit, is that DJ Khaled? And another one. And another one. Apparently he's like the worst concert you can possibly go to. I'm amazed somebody didn't beat his fucking ass. I really am. And he clearly can't throw for shit. All right, here's the moment you've all been waiting for. Not going to be directly about his schlong, but we're going to have to hear about his schlong eventually. Elon Musk leaked internal Twitter documents to Matt Taibbi. Apparently, I have heard that Hunter Biden's dick is very nice. And apparently, according to chat, he can fuck as well. That he slings good dick. So, Elon Musk released a bunch of internal Twitter documents to Matt Taibbi, who then had a 34 tweet thread about it. And it turned out to be one of the biggest nothing burgers that we have ever seen. We're going to look through the accusations and the documents here in just a second, but first, let's hear Fox News cry about the fact that no other media outlet covered this story, and we're going to talk about why they didn't here in just a second.
Big Saturday show. Remember when Elon Musk brought the sink to Twitter headquarters after his takeover went through?
How could I forget?
Now let that sink in. Well, now he's...
Oh, yeah, it was so amusing.
What really went on at Twitter before he took over, and the censorship of the Hunter Biden laptop story. Musk gave the documents and information to Substack journalists.
You know, and one of the things I want to point out here at the front of this is if Twitter censored the Hunter Biden story, then what do you call Fox News passing on the Hunter Biden laptop story? Because Fox News wouldn't go forward with it. Was Fox News censoring the Hunter Biden laptop story? Interesting.
To expose the scandal. Dubbed the Twitter files, the evidence confirmed that Twitter engaged in censorship before the 2020 presidential elections. This was the New York Post story that started it all back in October 2020. And Taibbi wrote about how several former Twitter staffers colluded with the Biden campaign, showing email correspondence from a Biden staffer listing 5 tweets for...
Did she say emo correspondence? Now remember, this is tweets from the Biden team. What Fox News is leaving out is that the White House, which Trump occupied at the time, also made requests
for review, and hours later, the staffer replied, handled.
The government cannot deputize private actors to do what the government is forbidden from doing constitutionally. But on free speech, this most sacred of rights, you can't say to Twitter, listen, you need to do this on our behalf and communicate with government officials because we can't do it ourselves, and do kind of an end around. This war.
Biden wasn't in the government. Look, do I need to go back and... These were on Saturday, October 24th, 2020. Trump was in the White House.
For listing 5 tweets for review, and hours later, the staffer replied, handled.
The government cannot...
They reviewed them, yes.
...private actors to do what the government is forbidden from doing constitutionally. But on free speech, this most sacred of rights, you can't say to Twitter, listen, you need to do this on our behalf and communicate with government officials because we can't do it ourselves, and do kind of an end around. This war on free speech is real, guys. This is not a joke. They use tools for...
You are indeed a joke. You are indeed a joke, Dan Bongino.
Even DM the link to the new... Do you understand how bananas that is? That is crazy.
Well,
now, that is crazy that you couldn't DM the link.
Tammy, I want to show you a couple of tweets and then get your take on the other side. Twitter, so this is from Matt Taibbi. Twitter took extraordinary steps to suppress the story, removing links and posting warnings that it may be unsafe. They even blocked its transmission via direct message, a tool hitherto reserved for extreme cases, example, child pornography. And this from Elon Musk. Twitter acting by itself to suppress free speech is not a First Amendment violation, but acting under orders from the government to suppress free...
The only people that were in the government that requested you to censor anything was Trump.
Speech with no judicial review is. Now, Tammy, we know that there was censorship at Facebook on the behest of the FBI. It seems it's now gone a little bit towards Twitter. Do you see this as,
no.
You know, it's my opinion, politicians probably shouldn't be able to say you need to delete something that isn't illegal just because it could damage a campaign. In essence, was Twitter acting as a proxy agent for the state?
Well, clearly it seems to be, because they were making decisions, as you see with these emails going back and forth, based on...
Well, who's this woman? This is a long-lost cousin of Sidney Powell or some shit?
Requests coming from the Biden administration. We know that Zuckerberg had said that it was the FBI that told them directly about, Russian disinformation is going to start showing up, and that it was presumed to be that they were talking about the laptop. So you see these decisions being made not just at Twitter, interestingly, but across really the social spectrum, right? You've got Facebook, you've got Twitter, perhaps also Instagram, issues there. And they've all strangely were focused on this one dynamic that for whatever reason was deemed to be a problem. I think that they also attach this to their hacked materials rule, right? That we're not going to put up anything that's hacked. And of course, conveniently, everybody, the government and Biden was saying that, this is hacked, right? This is
potato. Good evening.
And Kayleigh McEnany got locked out of her account for sharing the New York Post story because of violating the hacked materials rule. So across the board, there was this effort to just shut down not just the sharing of that story, but accounts that may have been sympathetic to wanting to have that conversation. And this is, I think, the biggest issue that this shows, the Twitter files. And there's we don't know what that's going to be about. Is
internal emails show that they had a candid and honest conversation about moderation policy.
Recognizing this as a request for a third party to act on behalf of the government. That becomes the problem.
Well, and Griff, one thing that I'm finding very interesting right now is mainstream media is not covering this story. Take a look. Network news coverage on the new info about Hunter Biden laptop story censorship. NBC, ABC, CBS, they're not covering it whatsoever.
Yeah, because it's almost like it's not a fucking story.
Legacy media journalists coming out and attacking.
Maybe those outlets were covering shit like the Iranian protests or the cap on Russian oil prices, which I thought was more important stories, or were more important stories than the idiotic Hunter Biden laptop story. That's why it's way down here in hour 2, motherfuckers.
Even Matt Taibbi, because he gave the story to an independent journalist. But let's remember.
An independent journalist. Yeah, I've got the Rolling Stone article right here.
Why he went to this independent journalist. But Matt Taibbi isn't some right-wing extremist. He used to be on Keith Olbermann, Bill Maher. He was regularly on MSNBC. Doesn't this prove that Musk is just staying in line what he said he's going to do?
Well, he is doing what he said he was going to do.
Tucker Carlson used to be on MSNBC.
Is going to change. You watch, because as we just heard from Timmy saying, we'll see what Musk does tonight. But we already know in the new year that James Comer, the incoming chairman of the Oversight Committee in the House, is going to have hearings. They're going to call all of these Twitter people ahead, to include that guy, Yoel Roth, who is the head of the safety department, that already got out there saying, it was maybe a mistake now to think about it. But you're going to get and find out, sort of to Timmy's point, just how far was the effort to suppress this information. Now, was it illegal? I don't know. It doesn't appear that any laws were broken, but we'll find out. However, if you needed any indication of proof that what was going on was grossly inappropriate at best, you've got Democrat Congressman Ro Khanna from representing Silicon Valley.
And Ro Khanna is awesome. Thank you, Ro Khanna.
Saying, hey guys, I'm not comfortable with this. What's going on? And that's a telltale sign. All of those networks that were late to get to the Hunter Biden, CBS just a few weeks ago confirmed.
Ro Khanna will call out what he feels that he is not comfortable with, but no Republican is going to be like, I'm not comfortable with Trump trying to censor shit. I'm not comfortable with Trump using black vans to pull people off the streets. Go fuck yourself.
Laptop, we just found out 2 years later it's actually a legit story. They're going to pick up on this story because this is way bigger. I think we're at the tip of the iceberg on this.
Well, Democratic lawmakers seem to want
never trust a man when he says just the tip.
I mean, we heard from Senator Elizabeth Warren earlier this week.
One human being should not be able to go into a dark room by himself and decide, that person gets heard from, that person doesn't. That's not how it should work.
Well, and David, I want to show you this Politico article by Ben Schreckinger that was just out yesterday, I believe. He said, Elon Musk is stoking controversy on a new front, just the latest sign that the tech billionaire continues to steer the platform in a direction more favorable to conservatives and libertarians. And this, just want to do one more thought from an NBC News report, again, talking about Elon Musk, because that is their story.
Researchers are warning that hate speech and harassment have increased dramatically since Elon...
Just because, God, don't make me think about Joe Biden's penis. Come on, guys.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Musk took over the platform.
And I just want to point out, that was this morning. That is what they were talking about. Shouldn't the real story be the realization that the left may not be protected anymore? Maybe the old guard establishment is not going to hide some of the things that they have done, their nefarious ways?
By the way, Elon addressed that hate speech that's been around for a couple of days. Look, I really don't care what the networks do. They can or cannot choose to report it. December 1st, Thursday, Jim Jordan sent 2 letters that morning from House.
You want me to tell you something Fox News has probably never reported? Jim Jordan covered up the sexual abuse of wrestlers at Ohio State University.
Jerry, as the incoming chairman, and he sent it to Brennan and Clapper. The collusion that was possible here, or likely, between DOJ, intelligence agencies, the letter of the 50 intelligence agency officers and heads, former heads, that was used in the debate between Biden and Trump when it came to the Hunter laptop story. And all of this is going to come out if the Republicans do their job right and actually expose this. Follow the transparency of Musk to the transparency in open committee hearings.
My God. The transparency of Elon Musk, who fires anybody that disagrees with him, who has reportedly had labor practices like that of like a slave camp. Elon Musk's big Twitter files reveal turns into a snooze fest. Earlier this week, Elon Musk teased the release, tweeting, "The public deserves to know what really happened." Elon Musk released the anticlimactic Twitter files about free speech suppression by the social media platform on Friday evening. On Monday, he teased the release, writing, "The public deserves to know what really happened." What followed after was a series of tweeted snippets detailing what the public has known and what Twitter executives themselves have detailed over the past 2 years about the company's deliberation surrounding the New York Post publication of files from Hunter Biden shortly before the 2020 election. What you're about to read is the first installment in a series based upon thousands of internal documents obtained by sources at Twitter. Matt Taibbi, Substack writer and former longtime Rolling Stone writer, darkly intoned Friday evening. But contrary to the melodramatic billing, the files mostly show what's already been documented, that Twitter removed links to the Post story and files from Hunter Biden's laptop and struggled with how to react to the surprise revelation of the leak of files from a presidential candidate's son. Twitter made a total mistake handling the Post story, former CEO Jack Dorsey said when questioned by lawmakers during a 2021 hearing about the company's handling of the story. The social media platform initially suppressed the story from appearing in the recommendation algorithms, but then banned links to the story outright under its distribution of hacked materials policy. It was not to do with the content, it was to do with the hacked materials policy, Dorsey explained during the 2021 hearing. "We had the incorrect interpretation. We don't write policy according to any particular political leaning. If we find any of it, we write it out." Joel Roth, Twitter's former head of trust and safety who resigned this month, also called Twitter's handling of the Post story a mistake during an interview this month. "We didn't know what to believe. We didn't know what was true. There was smoke," Roth told Kara Swisher, a tech journalist, this month after leaving the company. "Everything about it looked like a hack and leak, like the one carried out by Russian intelligence in the 2016 presidential election." Taibbi and Musk's Twitter files appeared to add little beyond what former executives have said was a confused and bungled response, which is exactly what the emails show. Twitter blocked the distribution of the Post story, not just in posts and direct messages, which Taibbi claimed leverage a tool hitherto reserved for extreme cases, e.g. child pornography. The tool has also been used to block other sources of banned context, including the URL for distributed denial of secrets, which shares hacked documents with journalists, as well as the Newsroom for American and European-based citizens, a front organization for the Russian Internet Research Agency, which meddled in the 2020 election. I've pulled web archives of these 3 tweets. All 3 are homemade Hunter Biden porn and Hunter Biden dick pics pulled from the laptop. These tweets don't contain any info on Hunter's business dealings, just porn. Can't immediately find archives of the other 2 tweets. So, tweets are probably porn.
You live in sexual anarchy?
James Woods wanted to share Hunter's schlong. Examples of what Taibbi characterized as wrongly removed content, the Substack blogger cited a number of tweets containing non-consensually posted intimate imagery of the former vice president's son, commonly referred to as revenge porn. Responses online amounted to a collective yawn. Nice to land and read Twitter files only to find out there aren't any. One former Twitter employee quipped to Rolling Stone, "Dick pics are not a smoking gun, no matter how many times you say First Amendment," posted Swisher. While the first part of the series turned out to be a flop, Musk continued to tweet, "Tune in for episode 2 of the Twitter files tomorrow." Has he already done it? Have they released more? Because I didn't see anything about that. That was 2 days ago. I sure as shit haven't heard any other new revelations. Now this supposed leak he teased and said it was like coming within the hour, and then it ended up being like 3 hours later, and that's when Matt Taibbi tweeted it out. So he posted an update like still fact checking things. But this is another problem with right-wing media outlets is they have all they need to run with the story. All they have to do is say First Amendment, and they depend on the ignorance of their followers. Not a goddamn one of them can tell me what it is about the Hunter Biden laptop story I should care about or what is nefarious. Just like not a single one of them can tell me what any teacher is doing out there that is nefarious and makes them a groomer. You may get them to say 10% for the big guy. But even that is just speculation. We don't know who the big guy is. We don't know what the money is referring to. And this is just he said, she said bullshit from Tony Bobolinsky. Fuck Tony Bobolinsky. This is not Tony Bobolinsky. This is what John Paul Mac Isaac one Sunday said the FBI is corrupt.
If you guys will forgive me, I'd love to ask you 2 quick questions, John Paul.
This is the owner of the store who says that he received Hunter Biden's laptop. And if you guys don't know all of the details surrounding this, dude has changed his story numerous times, which is one of the reasons why news outlets were skeptical of him. Once he turned the communications over to Steve Bannon and Rudy Giuliani, they took it to Fox News. Fox News said no. The Wall Street Journal said no. The New York Post published it, but the person who wrote it wouldn't put their name on the story. And once the Post published the story, they would not release the laptop materials to any other journalistic organization to verify them. That is one of the reasons why Twitter was so suspect of the Hunter Biden laptop story. And apparently the Washington Post reported that of the materials they can find that have been released, the PDF document indicates that it was created after David Mack, David Mack, John Isaac McPaul received the supposed laptop. So it's all suspect. All of these organizations had a reason to be suspect of this bullshit, clearly bullshit fucking story.
John Paul, one, there is, as much as we have seen from what Elon has released.
Also, he's blind and he couldn't verify that it was Hunter Biden.
Twitter, there isn't necessarily a smoking gun yet when it comes to your case, Hunter Biden. In other words, we don't have the government official saying, spike that. Do you think that probably exists? Do you expect that somewhere and is yet to be seen? We see a Twitter that's ready and willing to do what the government wants, or in this case, the DNC. There's actually the DNC at this time, so the Democratic Party. But we haven't yet seen who made the call and who put it in their mind.
Well, I believe Zuckerberg described at least the FBI and Facebook's interaction as predominantly in person or over the phone.
Right.
I think the FBI is smart enough not to create a paper trail when it comes to affecting the course of an election. So I'm pretty sure the FBI was careful about how.
Oh, woke potato! If you don't know, he has actually started laying out his outfit for when he testifies in front of Congress. He says what his only condition is that they have to let him wear his kilt. Not to demean anybody that likes to wear a kilt. Some men look absolutely fucking sexy in a kilt.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean,
that ain't this guy though.
Facebook. Even Zuckerberg back in October 28th of 2020 told Congress when they got when Zuckerberg and YouTube and Google got dragged in front of Congress to explain Section 230 immunity. They said that it was common practice for law enforcement to reach out to social media. Mm-hmm. So I'm not surprised that there's not a paper trail. I hope that the FBI is smart enough not to implicate them in something like that, but I wouldn't be surprised. You know, the FBI knew it wasn't Russian. They knew it was Russian when I told them. They came to my home. They finally came to the shop. They took the laptop. They did not admit the laptop as evidence in the impeachment.
Oh, we don't know that it's not Russian, but like producer Dave has a good theory on this that Russian planted evidence is usually good. And this one doesn't seem like it'd be the work of the KGB or anything. That doesn't mean it couldn't have come from some stupid ass troll farm, some B+ players that Rudy Giuliani was interacting with in Ukraine or some shit. I am still suspect.
Well, that's when I knew the FBI was bent. So, you know, there's really no excuse.
Yeah, I really hope all of you, I mean, I do think you've been vindicated, but there are others that have been vindicated. Rudy Giuliani. I mean, there's so many people who were calling out what was happening, who could see.
Rudy Giuliani has been vindicated. Bullshit.
Suppress this
you
information.
Think we're stupid?
And
you think we're fools?
I really respect you for sticking through it all, despite having so many people try to cancel you, and the weight of the federal government on you.
Really quick, the other question I want to ask is, what's your relationship now with the FBI, John Paul? Have you?
Somebody create a meme channel in the Discord. We're on it.
Not at all. I've offered fresh, clean copies of the drive if they've lost the one that I gave them back in December.
Buddy, fresh, clean copies of the drive. All of this is suspect as fuck.
You know, if they want to work with me, I respect the agency. If I didn't believe in the FBI, I would never have gone to the FBI. I just didn't trust the FBI. There's two different things. So I would still like to have and give the opportunity to the FBI to revisit this issue and clear the name.
Amazing.
Interesting.
All right, John.
God, these people are fucking idiots. I swear. This story sent Trump over the fucking edge to the point where he has called to throw out the Constitution and reinstate him as president. And there are members of the GOP that are on board with it. But I bet that doesn't come as a shock to a lot of you. That story plus Chris Christie's niece assaulted cops. The city of Louisville has reached an agreement with a woman who was groped by the Louisville Metro Police. A member of the Louisville Metro Police Department got wild video of a fugitive ambushing cops. Plus something funky went on at the Dr. Pepper Challenge at the Sporty Ball game last night. And we've got some wild ass video from it. Plus, I'm going to show you the world's oldest land animal on his birthday getting a bath. All that and more. We got to come back from the other side of the break here on the Troll Patrol live. Hi, I'm Justin FREAKIN. I'm a leftist broadcaster and comedian, not liberal, leftist. And despite what you may have heard from right-wing propaganda, George Soros isn't handing out Soros bucks and funding people like me. There are no Koch brothers, Mercers, or any number of right-wing think tanks funding content on the left side of the spectrum the way they fund people like Ben Shapiro, Dave Rubin, and Dennis Prager. And YouTube doesn't monetize videos that are controversial or deal with politics unless you're someone like Steven Crowder. So this is an ultimatum. Become a patron. Support my Patreon, or I'm going to become a right-winger and get some of that easy money. You know for a fact that I could be bigger than Charlie Kirk or Jesse Lee Peterson.
Amazing!
All I have to do is talk about how I used to be an SJW snowflake, but the left went too far with their cultural Marxism, and Republicans are stupid enough to buy it, even though this video exists. And you know I'm right, so give me your money or I'm selling you out.
We live in turbulent times. The media is full of deception, conspiracy theories, and fake news. Now, more than ever, it is important to ensure you're getting information from a source that's freaking reliable.
I'm Justin Mullins, and this is the Freakin' News.
Get a breaking or interesting story with a humorous twist in about a minute weekdays, 8 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, BitChute, Odyssey, and more.
I probably shouldn't pick my nose the way I do during commercial break. Knowing that I have a camera right here in front of me. I'm like all the way up in this motherfucker all the time. Like, I get the crusty nose real bad. What up, freaks? Here, let me give you a meme. Oh, you another meme. This tattoo removal studio will laser off your Kanye West tattoo for free. I really like this meme because it's very simple. Very simple. But effective. Simple, but effective and funny. Yeah, my nose. Like I've got some kind of like scarring going on up in there. I don't know what's fucking happening. Hey, one of those vagina machines? What? What am I even talking about? Wait, Kanye has some kind of... He has a tattoo of the net. I saw him make the net and yoo-hoo joke. Also, as a connoisseur of chocolate milk, I'm like the #1 consumer of chocolate milk in the world. Yoo-hoo is fucking nasty. And I don't trust any of you that drink that shit. Chocolate water is not fucking good. What is wrong with you people? Yoo-hoo drinkers. Nasty. Sorry. Sorry if any of you like the Yoo-hoo. Yes, I saw that shit. Yoo-hoo is the name of the drink. Yahoo is the name of the... What even is Yahoo now? Is it... Do they have emails still? Is it a search engine? Is it some kind of a news aggregate? Sitting cow. And your name is Cow. You're up in here like, I drink the chocolate water. What? But your gammy uses Yahoo News. I don't get the chocolate water. I will let you know that after we end this stream, I'm gonna wander in there. I've got some. Okay. There you go. That is the only reason that I would forgive people for drinking Yoo-hoo. If you are lactose intolerant. That makes sense. Oh my God, Warlord, why you gotta do this? Why you gotta do this to me? What did Kanye West just post? Whoa! And as if anything I can read by him should make me say whoa at this point. Hold on. Am I the only one who, and content warning because this is some racist shit here? Am I the only one who thinks Elon could be half Chinese? Have you ever seen his pics as a child? I've seen his parents. I've seen his fucking parents. Take a Chinese genius and mate them with a South African supermodel, and we have an Elon. I say an Elon because they probably made 10 to 30 Elons. He's the first genetic hybrid that stuck. Well, let's not forget about Obama. I'm sorry for using curse words in church, but I don't have another word for Obama yet. Yay 24, let's unify and find out. LUAFO. What does LUAFO fucking mean? That's a good question. How does rhetoric differ from any other? Like, it's just completely mask off. There's a veneer to other conservative commentators. Full on mask off over here. I don't know how he's going to unify with anybody. And apparently Tim Pool is still defending him. Oh, he's already announced that he's running for president. Lenny, this is one of the funny things. So when he had the dinner with Donald Trump, he asked the Don to be his vice presidential running mate. And this infuriated Donald. And he started bashing Kim Kardashian. He's the only one with a right-wing Warmbo. I can't do the voice. Yeah, he speaks his mind all right, Steelers. So, allow me to tell you why we get so frustrated with you. You're defending somebody that's like, I love Hitler. And making up nonsense accusations about the LGBTQ community. Kanye did. Kanye said that. We played the video the other day. Perhaps you should shut up and actually watch this show. And maybe you would learn something. Oh, who passed away? One of the Sesame Street dudes passed away. He was 90. Oh, that's sad. James Woods trending. James Woods is going to sue the DNC for fucking what? Because he couldn't share Hunter Biden's schlong out. Twitter and the DNC destroyed his career and livelihood? Well, first, he'd need a career to destroy. And second, he violated Twitter's TOS. James Woods is a creepy old dude who's mad he can't share Hunter Biden's dick pic. That looks like a man who wants to see a good dick pic. What in the fuck is this woman smoking that she thinks James Woods is one of the greatest actors in Americans? I feel like the American education system has failed me because I honestly had no idea allowing James Woods to post unlimited Hunter Biden dick pics was the cornerstone of democracy. It literally never came up once on my way to a graduate degree. James Woods wants to sue the DNC because Twitter took down a post of his that showed Hunter Biden's penis. It was very slightly blurred out. What it means to be a Republican in 2022, I guess. Mr. James Woods, you have the right to remain a Republican. Anything you tweet will be ridiculed. If you cannot find a nude pic of Hunter Biden, one will be provided to you by Space Karen. Now step away from the penis. This is an erection. I am a werewolf, and this is a real badge. Ooh, that one had layers. I like this. Mocking Herschel Walker and James Woods at the same time. The Kid Rock of thespians. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Here's James Woods talking about it. Jazz guitar Jeff. Good evening, my friend. I know a jazz guitarist is bound to live in sexual anarchy.
You live in sexual anarchy?
So that one's for you, my friend. Bound to live in sexual anarchy.
Consent that I would like to, and I can't speak as intelligently as I would like to, but, you know, when you see your name on an enemies list, you want to say to your enemies, you know, really an interesting thing. When you declare somebody your enemy, they can now say you're my enemy too. And it's a funny thing about the Constitution. You know, I tweeted something today about James Monroe.
Well, you know, that's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. Because I constantly get told by right-wingers, and this has been going on for well over a decade now. Oh man, being anti-war during the Iraq War. Let me tell you how many times I've been called a traitor to this country, an enemy to freedom, blah, 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 blah. I hate the Constitution. I'm a woke turd or a lib turd. I believe in cancel culture, blah, 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 blah. Constantly.
Oh, President of the United States, by the way, later on. You know how old he was when they signed the Declaration of Independence?
No.
He was 18 years old. 18 years old. Okay? John Adams was 19 years old. You know, they talk about, these old white men wrote the Constitution. They were teenagers fighting for an independent way of life, fighting for rights, the most precious of which was the right to free speech. And the government of the United States conspired to take my free speech and throw it in the gutter.
No, they did not. That is not what happened. First of all, the DNC is not the government. Second of all, you don't have a right to be on Twitter. In order for the government to violate your free speech, they would have to come to your house, lock you up, deny you the ability to be able to host your own goddamn self. One of these things these right-wingers don't understand is YouTube, BitChute, whatever the fucking platform, they are paying for the hosting. With YouTube, they are paying for the algorithm, the monetization tools. What these right-wingers get upset about is they get kicked off a platform like YouTube, and then they can't monetize their content as easily. That's all they're upset about. Because if you have to do like Alex Jones did and go and host your own self, web hosting is expensive, especially hosting video content. On top of that, you then need to have a sales staff in order to go out and sell advertising, whereas YouTube does that for you. These people think they have a right to a platform. No. You do not have a right to be given a microphone and people listen to your dumb ass. And you are on the #1 cable news outlet in the country, and the most watched cable news show, talking about how you are being censored. Give me a fucking break.
And there's something that they should fear more than anything they have ever imagined in their wildest dreams. The most dangerous man to these corrupt, vile vermin is an American who's not afraid of them. And Joe Biden and all those rats who work with you at the DNC, to close down my speech, I am not afraid of you.
Come on,
and
man.
I'm coming for you.
Oh my God, he's coming for them. Oh, girl, thank you so much. Coming for them. What the fuck?
Amazing. What do you think of Elon Musk so far?
Well, without Elon Musk, Hunter Biden would still be, and I can't say this because I don't know the facts, but it seems like he's been involved in some pretty interesting chicanery on behalf of the big guy, whoever that may be. We don't know for sure, so I don't like to say things I'm not sure of. But you know, I think Elon Musk has very possibly saved America.
Oh my God. Elon Musk has very possibly saved America. Right-wingers are absolute fucking morons. Dumbest fucks walking the planet. And even Rush Limbaugh himself recognized it before he died.
As a conservative, it's getting harder and harder to not look like a kook.
It could be because you're all fucking kooks. Clint Eastwood fucking got on stage and gave a speech to a fucking chair. I'm still fucking laughing my ass off at that shit. Gave a speech to a goddamn chair. So, Donald Trump over the weekend, in light of the revelations, quote unquote revelations from the Twitter leak, Trump took to Truth Social, doubles down on calls to terminate the Constitution in furious all caps Truth Social post. Let me pull up the actual post here. Unprecedented fraud requires unprecedented cure. Oh my God. Let me get to the one we need. So, with the revelation of massive and widespread fraud and deception, and working closely with big tech companies, the DNC, and the Democrat Party, do you throw the presidential election results of 2020 out and declare the rightful winner, or do you have a new election? A massive fraud of this type and magnitude allows for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution. Fascist. The fascist. What a fascist says. I've spent years having right-wingers tell me they believe in the Constitution. That's virtue signaling. They wrap themselves in the flag and say that they're patriots. I believe in the Constitution. Never goddamn read it. Don't understand it. Will say they believe in the Constitution and then advocate for cops to shoot people in the fucking streets. These people are absolute morons. And the scariest goddamn part about it is there is an actual sitting congressman who says this isn't a deal breaker in his run for president. This motherfucker literally saying that they need to throw out the Constitution still doesn't convince this GOP asshole that he's a fucking fascist and that he should put party in front of country. This is Representative Dave Joyce from Ohio.
So thank you for coming in this morning.
Thank you for having me.
So the Republican governance group, a group of about 50 Republicans.
AR Jesus, you say? You know what AR Jesus leads to? Leads to it being just another day in mass shooting USA.
Republican members of Congress, moderates. You describe your group as the, quote, deal makers, hell-bent on breaking through Washington's dysfunction. How much leverage do you have? How are you going to use it?
Well, our group is basically focused on making government work. We know what the problems are at home. We've heard about them. And we're not the people who you see on TV every week talking about issues that aren't germane to what the people are feeling at home. And what the people are feeling at home is, you know, that they heal.
Buddy, all you guys fucking talk about is shit like Hunter Biden laptop, Hunter Biden schlong, woke Dr. Seuss, cancel culture, yada, yada, yada. I don't hear you guys proposing plans for fucking anything.
All this fighting and you see all this kabuki theater taking place in D.C. But what is that doing to lower the price of gas? What is that doing to lower the groceries? How are we fixing the problems that we have with our educational system?
Our Hunter Biden investigation's going to fix any of that.
And show that we can govern, then perhaps we'll be respected and given the majority back.
Your priorities sound remarkably similar to Hakeem Jeffries' priorities was just on a few minutes ago. But where are the specific areas? What are the specific pieces of legislation you all can work on?
He is going to say that he is on the side of Donald Trump still.
Lives by a budget. That's what's.
Oh yes, a fascist.
The cost of inflation has been blowing up those budgets. We have to set the budget. The numbers are going to be lower than has taken place in the last 4 years.
The Republican Governance Group Chair. Republican Governance Group Chair. I assume this is a caucus inside the House.
And then we have to do the appropriations process, the 12 bills that actually spend that money, and they're going to be lower than what's happened in the last 4 years, too. And that's going to take 218 votes. And as that I brought up with the whole conference when we brought it up, you all talk about different things, but at the end of the day, we're going to do our job and put 12 appropriations bills out there. Are you going to have 218 votes to push this through?
Well, are there 218 votes, for example, for a program, for an idea floated by many Republicans to not extend the debt limit unless there are major cuts in programs?
Mox, like and layoffs are coming. Like big tech companies that have been overvalued all this time are coming. But Mox, the labor numbers were way better than they expected them to be. Again. We might go over that tomorrow night.
Programs, including perhaps Medicare and Social Security.
Well, you know, obviously the debt limit's an issue, and there's going to be times where I hope that we don't get in a position like we did with that failed experiment in October of 13, where we shut down the government for a long period of time, because it's
you guys shut down the government.
For Lebowski, that didn't end too well.
But that's what some Republicans are threatening now.
Well, but true enough. But you know, I think that while Republicans are threatening that, I think there's enough of us and enough Democrats that want to actually watch this world work, watch our government work, and make sure that government stays open. I mean, we're not going to agree on everything, obviously, but it's important that we start to focus on the things that we can agree on. And you know, when you focus on those things, like keeping the government open, keeping the budget specifically low, so that people understand what the costs and expenses of running their government is. And if you look at
what we've done over a 10-year span with discretionary spending, we've actually kept the cost of running the government down. It's the mandatory spending that's driving us into the $31 trillion.
Entitlements. He wants to cut Social Security, Medicare.
For that by just extending the debt limit perhaps permanently in this lame duck session of Congress coming up?
Well, I would think that with the Democratic majority not being completely there, they'll certainly control the presidency and the Senate, or it appear that would be at least equal in the Senate, that it would make sense for them to do those type of things, to create an omnibus right now that takes care of their priorities and set the debt limit ceiling to push it past the 24 election. That would, politically, I think that would make perfect sense for them.
Would you vote for it?
Well, I have to see it. I don't deal in hypotheticals, George. I got to look at the numbers. I've always, as a former prosecutor, considered myself a fact-based problem solver. So when the facts are presented to me, we'll make the decision there.
I'm going to ask you to look at the numbers for Kevin McCarthy. Right now, it looks like he does not have the 218 votes he needs for Speaker. You have 222 Republicans in the House right now. At least 5 have said, at least, that they're not going to vote for him. Does he have the votes? How will he get there?
Well, you can't beat somebody with nobody. And right now you hear that, well, we're just not going to vote for Kevin. Well, who then? I mean, Kevin deserves the opportunity.
The name I keep hearing is Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Get the majority. He laid out an outline in which we could represent our just constituents and this country moving forward. And we were given this opportunity to do that. And he deserves the chance to lead us. And he deserves a chance to lead for 2 years. I'm not a fan of the motion to vacate. I think that's a stupid idea. We were elected for 2 years.
That's one of the demands of your conservative counterparts in the House Republican Congress.
Right, and I still think it's stupid because we were given the opportunity to lead for 2 years.
I mean, right-wingers are morons, so.
They can vote us out. Well, certainly we should give the Speaker the opportunity, and at the end of 2 years, then vote him out. I saw what happened to John Boehner. It wasn't fair. John was a hell of a leader, and I think we'd fared a lot better under the last presidency.
Because he made a deal with Obama.
Boehner been our Speaker.
How does Kevin McCarthy manage a conference that has, on the one hand, Dave Joyce and members of the Republican governance group, on the other hand, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert? He seems to be under great pressure from that faction of the caucus as well.
Well, you remember,
oh God, what was his name?
Minority leader in California, so he's listening.
Dave Joyce.
To a diverse group of folks. And one thing Kevin does very well is he lays out his visions to folks and allows everybody to speak and have that opportunity. And what these people got to get used to is that if a majority of our conference agree to something, then that's how you move the ball forward. And just because 5 or 6 people don't like it doesn't mean that we should hold up the whole country.
If they stay hard,
Flush it.
Kevin McCarthy simply can't get the 218 votes he needs.
Flush that Putin.
Would you be behind this effort that some have talked about? I talked to Hakeem Jeffries about, put forward a moderate Republican that would attract Democratic votes?
But I think Hakeem was also straight in that he said
there is no such thing as a moderate Republican. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
I'm willing to give up chairmanships or the opportunities that come with being in the majority, so that would make it harder for anybody to actually get there. That'd probably be a perfect resolution to find somebody that everybody could agree on, and so we could start moving forward. But I just don't see it happening without. I think the Democrats are going to vote for Democrats, the Republicans will vote for Republicans. And
yes, there's going to be a right-wing force to vote. This is going to be fun.
I have to ask you a question about Donald Trump's statement yesterday talking about suspending the Constitution. Your reaction?
Well, when President Trump was in office, I didn't make a habit of speaking out of his tweet du jour. I don't know what came out on whatever his new social platform is, but people were not interested in looking backwards. The people who gave us the majority, and again, we barely won it. We barely eked it out. So let's be straight about where we're at. They gave us an opportunity, and we need to perform, and we need to care about the issues that they care about, which is how do they lower the cost at the pump. I know when I go into Heinen's that the price of everything I buy, eggs, bacon, toast, it all goes up, right? It hasn't gone down. And again, people have to live within a budget. What are we doing?
It seems like it corresponds to corporate profits, if you ask me.
Their lives are better. And how do we continue to make sure that they have the jobs and the economy is stable and they have the jobs to be able to live and take care of their family?
Washed Stream, what's up, my friend? Thank you for being a freaking follower.
In 2016 and 2020, now he's talking about suspending the Constitution. Can you support a candidate in 2024 who's for suspending the Constitution?
Well, again, it's early. I think there's going to be a lot of people in the primary. I think at the end of the day, you will say whoever the Republicans end up pick, I'll fall in behind because that's...
Even if it's Donald Trump, as he's called for suspending the Constitution?
Well, again, I think it's going to be a big field. I don't think Donald Trump's going to clear out the field like he did in 16.
That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking you, if he's the nominee, will you support him?
I will support whoever the Republican nominee is.
Even someone who said he wants to throw out the Constitution.
Get there because I think
You
there's a lot
craven asshole.
quality candidates out there.
It's a remarkable statement. You'd support a candidate who's come out for suspending the Constitution?
Well, you know, he says a lot of things. You have to take him in context. And right now,
The context is he's a fucking fascist.
It's a Republican governance group and a Republican majority that we make things work for American people. And I can't be really chasing every one of these crazy statements that come out from any of these candidates at the moment.
But that's an extraordinary statement. You can't come out against someone who's for suspending the Constitution?
Well, first off, he has no ability to suspend the Constitution.
That's like fucking idiot ass Steelers in here who's like, oh, Ye's not well and we should support him. The fuck are you talking about? No, you don't support someone who's on here talking about how much they love Hitler. Have you lost your goddamn minds?
Secondly,
but he says he's for it.
Well, you know, he says a lot of things that, but that doesn't mean that it's ever going to happen.
Tones, good evening.
Exact fact from fantasy and fantasy.
Yes, well, you know what? In 2015, I told everyone who would listen that Trump would not leave office willingly. Guess who won the pony, motherfucker? It came true. Tone's gonna come in here, make it rain? Oh, no shit. I love you, my friend. You are so awesome. Trump is crazy, but he'll still vote for him. Not a deal breaker. Tones, thank you for handing out the gift sub to Craleo. Fucking awesome. Let's talk about Chris Christie. Possible 2024 presidential candidate. Oh shit. Tone's handing one out to Jazz Guitar Jeff, who I am assuming, if you play in jazz guitar,
you live in sexual anarchy.
You use a man that can crush some pussy, get you some ass. Fuck it, hey! Sure, ask me a political question. Would you watch stream? Would you like to get in the Discord? Would you like to call in? Carpe Pax, welcome back. Came just in time to see Tones giving out the fucking gift subs up in here. I love my friend Tones. We will not be canceling Tones, even though they are a woke moralist.
Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
I like jazz. I'm a big fan of jazz. Okay, well, what you fucking A? Toads throw one to Carpe Pax. Hell yeah. Somebody could give Carpe a shout out. That would be fantastic. Anybody else who might have snuck in here that deserves a shout out. I'd be more than happy to field your question. Perhaps your question is what exactly are my political views? My political views are whatever allows me to piss in Dan Crenshaw's open eye hole. Give me that eye pussy, sir. Yeah, Tone's fucking coming in here. It's not even Christmas yet, and Tone's handing out the Christmas presents. I do have my Christmas graphics ready to go. I usually wait a lot closer to Christmas. I know a lot of people already have their Christmas decorations out. I've previewed what the logo looks like with the Santa Claus hat. Check that shit out. I had not seen what the patch of skin under his eye patch looked like when I made that graphic. But later, I actually saw a video of him flip the eye patch up and show what it looks like, and I did a damn good job. It looks an awful lot like that. You assumed it's a shaved pussy. I love you guys so much. All right, let's make fun of Chris Christie. Oh, poor. I tried so hard to get callers tonight. All right, this is it. But what is the deal with everyone having disagreements on race and religion or hating on people based out of biological things out of their control? I do see it from both sides, and it never seems to stop. Why? We're the side that's accepting of everybody. Like, you just, like, our side wants to make sure everyone is taken care of. The Republican side wants to demonize whatever outgroups they can in order to maintain power. Yet you say fuck white people. One, when the fuck did I ever say that? Two, I'm white. When did I say fuck white people? Lenny, have a good evening. You're going to miss out on cop death. No, I don't actually think I've got a cop shooting anybody this time. Just assaulting people and groping people. I'm white. It doesn't make any sense. In logic, there's a thing called a straw man argument. It is where you intentionally misrepresent your opponent's argument in order to make it easier to attack. And I'm sure you can find individual people that say fuck white people. I'm sure you can find chants of it online. There are always instances of people saying crazy shit. No, lots of people don't. There are plenty of people that make jokes about it. There are plenty of people that point out racial inequalities. And the majority of the Republican Party is fascist, and it is a white nationalist party. So there is a difference between a critique of white nationalism, which is resulting in a climate of terror in this country, and actual racism against white people, which, honest to God, doesn't exist. At least not in this country. Like, you look at the Republican Party does nothing but talk about everybody else playing identity politics, yet the party is overwhelmingly white. It's over 90% white. What they call playing identity politics is just us responding to their white nationalism. And you see a lot of people express frustration towards a predominantly white nationalist society. And you can't argue that it is. Or that it isn't. Like, look, like, in order to rename schools and tear down monuments to slaveholders, in order to take the bust of the founder of the Klan out of the Tennessee state capitol, it was a years and sometimes decades long fight. I don't think the majority of people are overtly racist anymore. But I believe the majority of white people have an ingrained racism in them. And you have to unlearn that shit. Now, there are grifters that can be pointed to. Can somebody tell me that, like, White Fragility, that fucking author that goes and does those corporate seminars, that's a fucking grifter. Pretty much anybody that's in the self-help, life coach, guru fucking shit is a goddamn grifter. But there is an ingrained racism in this country that the white population needs to unlearn. I was talking about it with my housemate earlier about some of the things that my mom used to say as a child. Now, my mom's not, she came around later on. I think she learned that shit was pretty vile. In the late 80s, early 90s, I heard her say some god-awful shit. Shit I can't repeat on this stream, and I've told my friends, and it shocks the shit out of them. Buddy, if you hate people playing the race card, fucking look at the party that you claim to belong to. Like, I cannot stress this enough. There is literally video of Reagan's campaign strategist saying how the Republican Party plays to racists specifically. This is Lee Atwater in 1981 being interviewed after the election of Ronald Reagan. It is audio of him describing how they use dog whistles.
Here's how I would approach that issue as a statistician or a political scientist, or no, as a psychologist, which I'm not, is how abstract you handle the race thing. In other words, you start out and...
But can I even play this on stream? I've played it before, but I'm starting to get bigger, and like I get mass reported all the time. I better not. I can't. You guys go watch it for yourself. I'll put it in the chat here. Gratuitous use of the N-word was what I just cut off. But basically, he's saying we used to use the N-word all the time, and it was N-word, 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 and this is how we appealed to racists. But now that hurts you. You got to be more coded with your language. You got to say things like states' rights. You got to say tax cuts. Now the people that hurts tends to be the poor and black community. So you are hurting the same community that you are hurting with the policies when you're out here saying N-word, N-word, N-word all the time. Exactly. Plausible deniability. I mean, like, I've been very cavalier about language here on this stream, but I probably shouldn't anymore. Because I've played that video clip so many times, and, like, people should hear it. It's fucking shocking. Like, people should hear the shit Kanye was spewing on Alex Jones. Alright. We were going to talk about Chris Christie. Chris Christie's niece bit and kicked deputies trying to escort her off a Spirit Airlines flight after she asked passengers who she thought were Latino if they were smuggling cocaine. I didn't know that part of the story, so hey, once again, Plays well into the whole Republicans being racist now, doesn't it? Cool. Well, you said you were a Republican, and I showed you how the Republicans played a race. We're the side that thinks you shouldn't hate people based off the color of their skin. So I don't understand what your criticism is, and like, are you getting butthurt over me calling out the Republican Party and their racist assholery? I mean, we saw it earlier where fucking assholes shut down a protest to try to get the woman who actually killed Emmett Till arrested. So I don't understand what you're talking about. Coming in here and try to say our side is starting some kind of race war or some shit. And I just gave you how many examples? Republicans being racist. I can't put it any more succinctly. Shannon Epstein, fortunate name, the niece of former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, was arrested on Spirit Airlines. Epstein reportedly asked passengers she thought were Latino if they were carrying cocaine. Epstein had to be handcuffed to a wheelchair. Oh man, why was there not video of this? Apparently 6 deputies were hurt in the scuffle. She injured 6 deputies. Now, cops lie. When they talk about injury, they might have she might have scratched their arm or some shit. Like, oh, I'm injured. Boo hoo hoo. She bit one in the arm though, breaking the skin, and kicked another one in the groin. Kind of based. We appreciate kicking authority in the balls around here.
He's kicking authority in the balls.
All the while, Epstein shouted that the deputies were going to lose their jobs or end up in jail. Oh, goddamn. So she was being a Karen, boasting that she was related to powerful people and that her uncle was a friend of former President Donald Trump. Chris Christie did not return messages left Friday at 2 telephone numbers associated with him. 7 deputies were needed to handcuff Epstein to a wheelchair so that she could be moved to the airport security office. She continued to shout vulgarities and tried to bite deputies. I bet they put one of those hoods on her then. They've got what's called a spit hood. And they are quick to put that thing on. Smokey! Hold on, let me go let the cat out. Damn cat. I don't know, I want to ask Curiouser about the show that she went to, but then also, like, you've been out at a crowd of people. I don't know if I should get close to you. Everybody's sick right now. I keep seeing people post about how they are the sickest they've ever been. Multiple people saying they got the COVID. Other people saying they got a flu like they've never had before. So I promised you I didn't have a cop shooting, and I don't, but this one is just as horrific. Oh, Tones, I was just Smokey was just in here in the room with me. I'll let him out into the rest of the house. I keep the door closed to somewhat dampen my voice while I'm on. Curiouser says it doesn't work, but it's predominantly because like the fluorescent light is really bright. even with the door shut, like it illuminates under the door. So that's predominantly what it is. What am I supposed to be hyping? The hype train or some shit you got going on? Or goal or what? I don't even know. I don't even fucking know. I'm bad at promotion. That's why I made those commercials. So I can play the Twitch commercials and I can play my commercials, and that's my promotion. It tells you to go watch YouTube, promotes the freaking news, which thankfully is starting to get some traction now. The one about Tucker Carlson got several 100 views. Maybe even broke 1,000. I don't know yet. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Tucker actually said that the NHL has gone woke. The Freakin' at the Freakers Ball. And that's the name of the... I don't even know what that does. I don't know what that does. But that's the lyrics to the Dr. Hook song, Freakin' at the Freakers Ball. Which, you listen to it back, is kind of problematic. But I'm just a wokey, so what do I know? I just searched like blue-haired feminist, and that's one of the pictures that came up. She seemed like a lovely woman that was like the director of some organization, but I yanked her picture to put it on an NHL player so that Tucker Carlson could scowl at us. Oh shit, does it? Does that go then carry over till tomorrow then? Because we're getting ready to do some cop videos, then we're gonna get the fuck out of here. Oh shit, yeah, let's try to get that tomorrow then. If it I think it's like a month-long thing. That would be fucking super cool. I love you guys. Thank you. Good looking out. I love this fucking thumbnail I did. That one, it did average blue-haired leftist. That's pretty much what I typed into Google. Average blue-haired leftist. Oh shit. Well, let's get to some of these cop videos. Oh, we gotta take a commercial break. It's time for Twitch commercials. I'm sorry. Yeah, you guys wasting your channel points on telling me no profanity and shit. We got cop videos when we come back from the other side of the break here on the Troll Patrol live. This is WWE superstar and multiple-time champion Seth Rollins. Seth is one of the top wrestlers in the industry, and never in a million years would I expect that Seth would be spying on me, or at least following me on social media. You see, a few years ago, around 2015 or 2016, Seth started referring to himself as
Seth freaking Rollins.
Now, Justin, you may say, your name is Justin Freakin. That's not very similar. And you'd be right. But I actually rebranded myself as Justin Freakin after Rollins blatantly stole my gimmick. Before last year, I went by
Justin Freakin Mullins. Justin Freakin Mullins.
Justin Freakin Mullins.
I am on film and audio, calling myself Justin Freakin Mullins several years before Seth Rollins. And if we take a trip in the Wayback Machine, we can see that I've actually been using the appellative since I was in high school. If this was Seth's only offense, I might let it slide. But recently he started referring to himself as
the Monday Night Messiah.
I wonder where I have heard something like that before.
I am the new media messiah.
I am the new media messiah.
Self-proclaimed new media messiah.
The new media messiah.
So, Seth, since you and the WWE are clearly paying attention to me, consider this video your cease and desist to stop infringing on my intellectual property, and issue me a check for a cut of that sweet merchandise money. Obviously, you and the WWE are big fans of my ideas, so maybe you should offer me a slot on the creative team. Anyone who has watched Raw in the past decade knows you could use the help. And if you're watching this video and you're not Seth Rollins, check out the links below to learn how you can contribute to my legal fund.
Now we turn to YouTuber Justin FREAKIN. The guy's, he's a formidable voice in the culture. Uncensored and unfiltered political talk and debate from a leftist perspective. The day's top news stories and videos with astute social commentary.
Not high enough for this shit.
All we're establishing is this guy's wicked sick aesthetic.
Right-wingers are morons.
You brought back the wrong kind of fucking cake, you idiot.
I guess I gotta thank Matt Walsh for introducing me to Justin FREAKIN.
Yet you're like, we'll pray for somebody. You think you can telepathically communicate with a deity, and you have the audacity to say somebody else has a mental disorder. For the love of God. Whoosh has been nothing but cool to me. I was gonna reach out to him for a little something. Maybe got something in the works for later. I don't think I could have ever gone to work for the WWE before, but now that Trips is in charge, I think I could. It was always it was the Lance has been awesome to me. Lance has rated us before. Yeah, I got lucky and Matt Walsh played a clip of mine on his stupid ass show. And
Justin FREAKIN, the formidable voice in the culture.
Whoosh. I thought it was Whoosh. I thought he calls himself Whoosh. I always like when people would call him Vouch. That sounds like a STD or something. I got the Vouch. I got a bad case of the Vouch. I've never really watched Vosh. I have watched The Surfs, and I do watch The Surf. I don't watch much content that's in the same lane as I do, but I will totally see videos that Lance has posted and be like, oh, I gotta check out what he's talking about over here. And he had one I wanted to fucking watch earlier today, but I think it was like 40 minutes or something. I'm like, fuck, I ain't got that amount of time right now. I'm purposely saying it wrong, pork. Whoosh. Vouch. Doesn't he like play fucking games with how he says it? Oh, I'm sorry, pork. I do that a lot though. I'll fuck with names of shit. I try to point out that I'm doing it so you don't think I'm just stupid. And then sometimes I am honestly just fucking names up, and please correct me on that. And Hell Deeper, you say? Yeah, even before I started streaming, like I was on the surfs. I can remember I'm smoking the like I'm saving my real weed for after the show. That's a resin grinded up fucking roaches, half smoked bowls and shit. You guys have seen me take the big boy hits off of the bong. I'm messing around. It's legitimately Vosh, right? That is the correct pronunciation. And I will call him that in actual interactions. If I get to interact with him, he is a lot fucking bigger than me. But he's been super cool to me. He has shouted me out in his chat. He played the video of Matt Walsh playing me. So I'm greatly appreciative of Vosh, of the Surfs, of Echoplex, everybody that helped me, you know, get going here. I'm appreciative of fucking F-bombs and Jason Society having me on the different panels. Apparently I'm going on the political shit show panel. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to call everybody dumb fucks. Yeah, Gorilla Cake is what I'm smoking then. And also, like, it's like my half-smoked bowls when I'm cleaning them out. And then, like, Curiouser gave me a bunch of roaches that I grinded up. So that's what that little container is full of. I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna have a real bowl here in a second. I'm gonna chill the fuck out. But before we chill out, let's get mad about some shit. The Trex Mix. Content warning. They've already got a content warning up as well. Yeah, let's find out what that news be doing. It happened in Connecticut. And I'm sorry, I took away the fucking, I need to put it back, the Chris Dorner Appreciation Society emote. Because that's the emote for this kind of deal. I'm playing with different emotes. I think you got a Santa Claus emote right now. I'm trying to get a bunch of emotes approved. Because I've got a bunch of open slots. Anyway, this happened in Connecticut. Fortunately, a man is paralyzed after being assaulted by 5 officers that have now been charged.
5 members of a police force in Connecticut face misdemeanor charges stemming from an incident in June when a man was injured during a ride in a police van that left him paralyzed.
I think we've played this video before.
See officers charged, but it's also part of what we've been talking about since the beginning. We need to be transparent and accountable.
Officials in New Haven say a sergeant and 4 officers turned themselves in after being charged with reckless endangerment in the second.
I'm gonna try this again. Like I think we go through this every time. Dianthus. I am fucking your name up so bad, but thank you for being here. I'm so glad to see you tonight. They were charged with misdemeanor. I wasn't even paying attention. God damn.
5 members of a police force in Connecticut face misdemeanor charges stemming from an incident in June when a man was injured during a ride in a police van that left him paralyzed.
It's hard to see officers charged, but it's also part of what we've been talking about since the beginning. We need to be transparent and accountable.
Officials in New Haven say a sergeant and 4 officers turned themselves in after being charged with reckless endangerment in the 2nd degree and cruelty to persons. In June of 2022, 36-year-old Randy Cox was in the back of a transport van when investigators say the officer who was driving stopped short to avoid a traffic accident.
And what the fuck did he even do? He had a bottle of Crown Royal or some shit? Dianthus salpinus. It reminds me of Sahelanthropus from Metal Gear. Yeah, it's hard to see police get charged. No, that's what we want. We want to see police get charged. Fuck off.
2022, 36-year-old Randy Cox was in the back of a transport van when investigators say the officer who was driving stopped short to avoid a traffic accident. Video from inside the van shows Cox was thrown to the back of the vehicle and hit his head. He told the officer that he was hurt, and while an ambulance was called, the driver continued on to the detention facility. Police officials say that was a violation of protocol, and he should have pulled over and waited for an ambulance. Once the van arrived at the detention facility, Cox was unable to move and needed to be pulled out of the van.
No, you don't do that. You don't do that to someone who has suffered some kind of a head or spinal injury. Oh my God, fuck these pigs.
Wheelchair and then in a holding cell for processing.
You can make mistakes, but you can't treat people poorly, period. You cannot treat people the way Mr. Cox was treated.
The president for the New Haven Police Union said it will support the officers throughout this case.
Fuck off.
The attorney representing Mr. Cox says...
Yeah, the police union is going to support the cops throughout the case, and then, was it New Haven, Connecticut? Is that where this happened? The city of New Haven, taxpayers are going to pay for this fucking gross negligence.
Client will never be the same.
What's happened here today is never going to change the fact that Randy Cox is paralyzed.
Oh shit, was that Tones giving out another gift sub?
His life.
Fucking A, thank you so much, Tones.
Since Juneteenth of 2022 has been irreparably altered.
Cox's legal team has reportedly filed a $100 million lawsuit against the city and police department.
$100 million lawsuit, and I hope he wins. My God. Now we're going to go to one of the absolute most corrupt police departments in the country. This is the police department that killed Breonna Taylor. As I mentioned earlier, this is the same police department that was raping kids that were part of their Explorer program. It was like a Boy Scouts program inside of the police department, and they were raping kids. Their officers have been accused of going out arresting women and assaulting them. And here we have a cop in a convenience store just groping a woman. And he was on duty, and the city of Louisville is going to pay out.
An LMPD officer tied up, kissed, and groped a worker.
Yeah, Mox, that's what's the most corrupt PD in America? All of them. But I mean, I say the Louisville Police Department. When you look at the LA County Sheriff's Department, holy shit. Yeah, you're right. There's too many horrible police departments. The Baltimore Police Department is especially bad.
At a Louisville gas station while he was on duty. Now the city is paying for it. Tonight, the video, the settlement, and the victim talking only to WDRB investigator Gilbert Corsi.
I love the gas. I love the feeling you get to know the community around you.
Amory Taylor's has worked for Thornton's 8 years, but it's 2 days on the job.
I try to black
the NYPD.
From 2 years ago,
the things he did doesn't make sense to me.
That still haunt her.
He definitely abused his badge.
March 11, 2020. That's Officer Robert Neff, seen in security footage, briefly tying Taylor's hands behind her back with plastic wrap at the Thornton's gas station off Bardstown Road near Fern Creek. Taylor says he came in often as officers received free coffee and drinks, and this was just the beginning.
Free coffee and drinks for fucking what?
Of the harassment.
He wanted to give me a hug, so we side hugged, and then he kissed me on my cheek, which at that point I told people, I'm uncomfortable around him, like this is not something I'm wanting to pursue.
Did you have any kind of relationship with Robert Neff?
No. He tried to give me his number several times, but honestly I trashed him.
The next day, Neff returned, and police reports say he stayed.
He's like, no, fucking ACAB, motherfucker.
More than 2 hours while on duty.
He just kind of kept following me around.
It's here in the back storage area in 2 separate incidents that Neff gropes Taylor. He claimed to be faking a search.
Was grabbing my down between my shirt, was trying to rub up against my leg area, and the whole time the woman that I was training was in front of me watching it, and she's like, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. And I'm just sitting there because he made me put my hands behind my back and restrained me to where I couldn't move.
What is going through your mind in those moments?
Why me? Why did he see me as the vulnerable person to come into my safe place of work?
It has nothing to do with you, ma'am.
He took advantage of me in any way he could.
He's just a piece of shit.
I just really didn't understand.
I am so sorry you've had to endure this.
Because it wasn't something I had tried to partake in before. I didn't take your number. I didn't try to do anything but be cordial with people and nice.
Taylor says she felt angry, scared, and helpless.
Is this going to affect my job and how I provide for me and my family?
Neff was charged criminally. He cut a plea deal confessing to sexual misconduct and official misconduct, misdemeanors that came with probation but no time behind bars. He then quit LMPD.
I don't think that he should have.
That surprises me. I'm surprised the LMPD didn't keep him on.
Federal government just paid Taylor $55,000, a small piece of LMPD's big settlement pie. The city spent more than $40 million to settle police misconduct cases in the last 5 years. Recently, it agreed to pay $2 million to Breonna Taylor's boyfriend.
I lost everything in this situation, not just only the person I loved more than anybody in this world.
And another $1.8 million to 3 women who accused former Detective Brian Bailey of sexual abuse.
If the cops were just doing what they should do, that money could be used towards so much different things in our city and for our children and different things. Like, that's a lot of money to send out for people doing inappropriate things.
Yes, ma'am.
Lost its excess insurance provider, the kind that covered the most high-dollar payouts.
Because of the large numbers of payouts that we have, outside insurance carriers look at the city of Louisville and say, no, I don't think so.
It means these settlements for policing problems now fall more on taxpayers. Taylor believes more stringent mental health testing could be a solution.
Because if they're mentally unstable, they're going to act out and do mentally unstable things to people who don't deserve it at all.
Do you feel like you got justice?
I feel like I got the justice that I was able to handle mentally. I didn't feel like mentally I could take this to trial and try to fight it anymore.
Gilbert Horsey reporting there. Neither Neff's attorney nor LMPD responded to our requests for comment.
That's what we're talking about when we say defund the police. Get rid of organizations like that and replace them with actual public safety mechanisms. You wonder why somebody might go to the extreme and try to ambush a cop. Wild footage that you're getting ready to see here as a fugitive hides under a mattress and ambushes police with a pistol. This really doesn't have any criminal justice purpose. I'm just, wanting to play it for you because why wouldn't I?
Shots ring out in Oklahoma when officers discover an armed fugitive hiding under a mattress in the back of a trailer.
Go! Shots fired! Shots fired!
It happened
Cowards.
at 10:25 a.m. on November 15th in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Officers were told a suspect with an out-of-state warrant was seen entering a trailer. The man, identified as Timothy Johnson, was not seen leaving. Responding officers spoke with Jennifer Gerner, the woman who lives in the trailer. She gave police permission to search inside.
She told her to go in. It's her trailer. Sammy! This is the police department. If you're in here, you need to make yourself known.
Body camera video shows multiple officers searching the trailer for Johnson.
Sammy! Hey.
When officers lift a mattress in the back of the trailer, they find Johnson armed with a pistol hiding in a storage area. After that, shots ring out.
Go! Shots fired! Shots fired!
Body camera video shows officers returning to the trailer in an attempt to take Johnson into custody.
Well, now we don't have any indication, like, was she harboring him or was he an intruder? Because if he's an intruder, like, hey, get him out of there, right?
Armed with a pistol hiding in a storage area. After that, shots ring out.
Oh no, I bet they take him alive. I bet he's white. They're gonna take him alive, right?
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Body camera video shows officers returning to the trailer in an attempt to take Johnson into custody and secure the area.
Come out with your hands up!
Maybe not. She said attempt.
Seconds after officers go back inside the trailer, shots ring out again. That's when one of the officers inside is hit with debris.
I'm hit.
With debris.
Stuck inside the trailer. I'm hit in the face.
Body camera video then shows officers attempt to make contact with Johnson again before leaving the trailer to find a safe area.
Timothy, you come out with your hands up. Back out of the trailer.
The Oklahoma City Police Department's tactical team later arrived and found Johnson dead on the scene. Investigators later discovered Jennifer Gerner gave police consent to search her trailer, knowing Johnson was armed and hiding inside. She was arrested and now faces charges of harboring a fugitive.
So apparently she was harboring him. But then again, cops also lie. I assume he took his own life. I wonder what he had warrants for.
Officer who was injured was treated at a nearby hospital and later released. Now, all 3 officers involved in the shooting are on leave pending the outcome of an investigation. For the latest developments in this story and all things true crime, stay with Long Crime Network. I'm Sierra Gillespie.
Yeah, the dude wasn't a good shot. Unfortunately. Yeah, how can she be accused of harboring? Well, I guess because she didn't know, or I mean, because if she knew he was in there with a gun, then she's kind of in on ambushing the cops, isn't she? But like, once again, cops lie. So who knows? I guess now we're gonna do a little sporty ball. This isn't actually a sports story we're gonna be covering. Something that happened at halftime of the SEC title game. Dr. Pepper Challenge ends in a stunning controversy at SEC title game, but company makes it right. The Dr. Pepper Challenge, a yearly conference championship ritual where students sling footballs into giant cans to win tuition money, is as confounding and maddening as the rest of college football. This year, even more so. 2 students, Reagan Whitaker of Baylor and Kayla Gibson of the University of St. Augustine, did battle during halftime of Sunday's SEC championship in Atlanta. The stakes was $100,000 in tuition. Is this like Squid Game going on here? As Georgia and LSU players left the field at halftime, the 2 students positioned themselves several yards from their respective Dr. Pepper cans and soon began slinging chess passes. So this is the video. Oh, so we've got a tie. Okay, cool. At the end of the initial allotted time, both Reagan and Kayla were tied. So they went to an overtime, a 15-second throw-off. But they were tied at the end of that, too. Yeah, absolutely grotesque. What? We get to see that? So another throw-off, right? Not so, since we can't have these students getting in the way of marching bands or warm-ups. The powers that be declared this contest over based on an unknown until now rule that the second tiebreaker was based on who scored more in the qualifying showdown held on Friday. Reagan, disposable thumb with the sub. Is that another one of Tones giving them out tonight? God damn, I love you. So this naturally went over about as well as a Roll Tide with the Georgia and LSU fan base, and boos rained down. Wait, I want to see the boos. I want to see the boos. We not have video of that? Motherfucker, I thought I was getting this story specifically because it had all the video. Hold on a second. I wanna see him get booed there. I mean, I want to see the competition get booed. Not that I want to see the young ladies get booed. I think they both should have got $100,000. God damn it! Come on, cough it up, Dr. Pepper. Cough it up, Dr. Pepper. So I believe we are going to be looking at the actual tie-breaking round this time and the aftermath.
Just 15 seconds here, ladies. This is a battle. All tied up. All tied up. Oh my goodness! Well, this means that Reagan Whitaker is the winner because she won the tiebreaker challenge yesterday. Reagan, come over here. Congratulations. Reagan. Okay, here to present the tuition check, we have Andrew Springray. He's the Chief Marketing Officer of Dr. Pepper.
So yeah, booed, because you know what should happen? Both of them should get 100K. Fucking everyone should go to Twitter, dunk on Dr. Pepper. Both of these young ladies should get the 100K. Fuck off. You are a possibly billion-dollar company. I would say PepsiCo, Frito-Lay is a multi-billion-dollar company. You got it. Cough it up. Give both of them the 100 grand. No, they gave it to the this says the white girl. I didn't see what the race of the other girl was. Oh, the backlash was instant and they are going to pay both. Well, that's good, Sitting Cow. That is good. Glad to hear that, but like they should have done the right thing on the spot. But you can never depend on a corporation to do the right thing. That's never going to happen. All right, you guys know how I end this shit. We always do a animal video to cap us off. This one's got a little story to it. I'm happy to tell you guys this story. 190-year-old Jonathan becomes the world's oldest tortoise ever. I guess that we know of. It is the oldest living land creature. Jonathan, the world's oldest living land animal, has earned another Guinness World Record title. Celebrating his 190th birthday this year, Jonathan is now the oldest tortoise ever. His official record title is oldest, now Chelonian? Is this a breed of tortoise?
Colonian.
Colonian. Which means a turtle, terrapin, or tortoise.
Colonian.
A colonian. So the colonian would be the phylum? Or the genus? I don't remember that fucking class.
Colonian.
Colonian. Clinically, good night. Jonathan has come through the winter well, as per an update from the St. Helena government. He grazes well now, but is unaware of food if we simply place it on the ground. So I guess he's losing some of his senses. The genus. His hearing, though, is excellent, and he loves the company of humans and responds well to his vet, Joe Hollands' voice, as he associates with him with a feast. So, Jonathan is believed to have been born in 1832, thus making him 190 years old. Jonathan's age is an estimation based on the fact that he was fully mature and hence at least 50 years old when he arrived at St. Helena from the Seychelles. Is that how you say that? That's the islands, right? In 1882, in all likelihood, he is even older than we think. His estimated age was further supported when an old photograph taken between 1882 and 1886 was uncovered. It showed him fully grown. Damn. Jonathan grazing on some grass in the garden of a plantation house, the residence of the governor of St. Helena, where Jonathan has spent most of his life. We do indeed have video of Jonathan here. This is Jonathan taking a bath. Thank you, St. Helena government. Seychelles, thank you. Thank you, clinically. So this was, what? That would have been 7 years ago? Back in 2016? March of 2016. It was a simpler time. March of 2016 was a much simpler time. There we go. There's the tortoise. I think we might have watched this on here before. Perhaps when he broke another Guinness World Record. Looks like he's getting fisted. The turtle lives in sexual anarchy.
You live in sexual anarchy?
I wonder if he enjoys getting a bath like that. I don't know that this part would be soothing to him. And it looks like he's getting a little angry, to be honest with you. Oh, they love their sponge baths? Okay. Cool. I don't know about turtle behavior, so I don't know how to interpret. Ooh, look at how shiny it is. Put some turtle wax on him. Is that where the name for that comes from? Oh, that's so cute. Well, if he's loving it. If he's loving it, then I'm glad he's into it. He got a little grass in his eye. I'm talking to him like he's a baby, but he's far older than I am. You are totally my superior, sir.
Through that, to be looking after the oldest known...
You are my elder.
Well, what an honor. What an amazing thing, you know. I'm in my profession because I love animals. And I've got here the oldest known living land animal in the world, and I'm looking after him.
I love this dude. You are cool in my book. Thank you for looking after the oldest living land animal that we know of. We assume. I'll take him at their word, but I'm kind of skeptical. Because once again, his age is an estimate. You know what? Let's clout chase tonight. Nah, he's not gonna be paying. Nah, he's mainly on YouTube. He's not gonna be paying attention. I was gonna be like, let me see if I can get some viewers off of Matt Bender because Scam Economy's on right now, or Scam Economy's post show. But I don't think he pays attention to Twitch. I ought to go on sometime because he takes open Skype calls. I ought to go on and talk to Bender because I fucking love Bender. Bender and I have a lot in common.
Through that, to be looking after the oldest known living land animal in the world. What an honor. What an amazing thing.
I agree with you, and I love how enthusiastic you are about it.
Oldest known living land animal in the world, and I'm looking after him. Isn't that amazing?
If you are watching on Twitch, we're going to go over and say hey to Time for Tinfoil. Go ahead, light one up, tip one back. It's alright to have a little fun before you hit the sack. I am Justin Freakin. We'll see you tomorrow night. Also, Tuesday night we have election coverage. Herschel Walker and Raphael Warnock showdown. It's coming. Get ready. Peace out, bitches.